Good afternoon and welcome to the Bay Oval on a beautiful Bay of Plenty afternoon. Perfect conditions for the Dulux Big Bay Bash. First up we have the ACC XI versus the Spartans. I'd like to welcome to the commentary box Ben Hurley.
It's marvellous to be here, Matt Heath, and you are right. After what is being called the big wet, coming over from Australia and ruining many a barbecue already in these early summer days, the Bay has turned on the weather today, and we have a marvellous encounter about to get underway as Jason Hoyt and Dylan Cleaver open the batting for the ACC XI, and straight away Jason Hoyt has a massive mow outside the off stump, and that is Dylan Cleaver, in fact, and he doesn't need the helmet.
Yeah, there goes Tim. That's actually a real statement there. He said he thought that maybe there's some pace and he might need the helmet, but sending the helmet back is a real statement that he doesn't rate the bowling of Rabbi.
Well, that has gone wide down the leg side.
You've been looking to get a single there, and that is going to be a problem. Judging from Jason Hoyt's batting in the past, last year he refused to take a run, and he won't call anyone through. He's looking just to choke the run rate if he can.
Difficult to run, Matt, when the pads you've got on are up around your nipples. Here's our Rabbi bowling right arm round the wicket, and that is very good. That's a very good shout from Rabbi, or as I like to call him, the brunette Vittori.
Let's have a look at that again. We don't have ball tracking, but no, going down leg.
That just straightened though. That was a pretty good shout. I would say that might have been clipping leg. I think Cleaver has got away with one there as he comes in right arm round the wicket there, and that has been smoked out to the mid-wicket boundary. Good bit of work down there. Beautiful bit of work by T. Foley.
Yeah, but the ACC get off the mark.
Off the mark, off the bat, yes, a nice
off
start.
The mark, off the bat, yeah, three for none. That's a better start than we imagined. The run rate currently sitting at 6, halfway through the first over.
Yes, a pretty good start.
What would be a good score for you, a good total for you here at the Bay Oval for the ACC XI?
I think what the ACC XI should be targeting is to bat out their overs and see what happens. Let me see the crowd starting to come in here as we just hold up this few changes in the field as Rabbi settled on a good line and length here, but no, that is very full indeed. But he's picked out one of the only 2 fielders allowed outside of the circle in the first 6, and D. Cleaver has picked them out both. He trots through for a single, and this is what we've all been waiting for.
Yeah, it's a real chance to see Jason Hoyt. He's you describe him as a classical batsman.
Absolutely.
He plays in the V. He's not interested in any of these cross-bat shots that you see in T20 these days, which is unfortunate because this is a T20.
Well, we do love a bit of innovation in the T20 game, and Jason thinks innovation is a cut shot. So he's taken centre guard there, classic.
Are we sure that's Jason Hoyt? It's not Hoggle from Labyrinth, the movie Labyrinth? No, that is Jason Hoyt.
Yeah. Easy mistake to make. Here he comes.
Oh, beautiful.
That was well timed. Almost too well timed. Straight to the fielder, cover fieldsman there.
He'll be looking to play a lot of shots straight to the fielder. He's not looking to gap it. He's not really looking for opportunity to score, Jason Hoyt.
Last ball of the over here from Rabbi, and Hoyt advances down the wicket, but just paddles it to short mid-wicket, and that is over. And a good solid one from both sides, you would have to say, for that loss after 1. And how do you think this pitch is playing, Matt Heath?
Well, there's not a lot of bounce, but I'm not sure if that's to do with the pitch or the bowling. Who's going to be taking the nut in the second over?
It is difficult
for the Spartans.
It is difficult to get bounce when you are bowling under 50 kilometres an hour, of course. So we've got our camera right in there. Razor looks to be taking the ball from the umpire. And be interesting to see what. I mean, Razor sounds impressive, doesn't it?
Yeah, Razor. You're sharp. You're thinking sharp. You're thinking penetrative. I'm picturing pace here. I'm picturing blistering pace, short ball. I'm feeling no. It's not what we're going to get there. No, we're going to get
D. Cleaver, of course, representative cricketer for the great province of Taranaki.
Yeah, Razor Ray Crockett taking up the attack for the Spartans.
Here he comes here. We're going to see what he's going to bowl. And, there's a little off spinners there. We've got to mix up. And Hoyt is gone. He is gone. He's tripped over his own pad. It's half fallen off. He's ripped it off in disgust.
He didn't ground his bat. His pad came off. He was waddling down the wicket like a duck, and he is off. No, hang on a minute. There's a little bit of discussion here.
Are we going to have a look at this?
Are we going to have a look at this, or is there some kind of compensation? No, they just called him over to laugh at him to his face.
So the throws come in here. Hoyt's down the pitch.
That is unfortunate.
He's run in. He's definitely run out.
He would have made that if his pad hadn't fallen off. I mean, that is, had he done up his pad, is
now
that is and yeah, of course, the paparazzi right in his face there. And this isn't a great moment for the Mahana man. He would have liked to do a bit better than that.
Yeah, there are no golden ducks in this game, but of course he did face the 2 deliveries, and so he has to take the long walk back to the pavilion with his hoggle tail between his legs, as there's polite applause from the bank and sort of sarcastic applause from his ACC commentators.
And I believe it is Jeremy Wells who's making his way out onto the Bay Oval. You'd also describe Jeremy Wells as a classical player. He's likes to play within the V. He's got 2 key shots, a drive, and a sort of a.
It's almost a slap.
It's more of a slap.
Yeah,
sort of cut makes a slap.
A square slap.
Yeah.
Not unlike Sir Alistair Cook. Just waits for the ball, waits for the one of the 2 balls that he can hit. As Razor, that's gone wide, but he's got it through. He's got it through. There could be a couple here. Wells is lapping D. Cleaver. That's actually gone for 4.
That's gone for 4. That's a. If he'd left it, it would have been wide, but he played the shot and he got his 4, and a great decision from Dylan Cleaver. You've got to say he is looking very good. Is he wearing his glasses?
No,
he's not. He forgot his glasses. That is a huge concern for the ACC, because he's one of the ACC's star batsmen. We're really leaning on him, and for him to forget his glasses today is a bit of a blow for the team.
We're currently going at 7 off 6. Here's Razor, he's bowling. There's a little bit of shape on that. That's gone through the keeper, though. This will be byes.
They're looking for 2. They're coming back. They're looking for 2.
Oh, he's taking on the arm. Fortunately, the arm was dreadful. So he's got back quite easily. And 2 byes to the score. The ACC now 10 for 1.
And Dylan Cleaver batting at 100. He's scoring all the runs for the ACC at the moment. 7 off 7, 10 for 1 after 1.3.
Here's Cleaver, and that is a lovely shot. That's beaten cover, and that's gone through to the boundary for 4. You won't see a better shot than that today. And that's an early time to say that, I know that, but that is just a beautiful shot. Matt Heath.
That is fantastic, and as I said before, he hasn't got his glasses, and he's got a +3 on both eyes, so to time the ball, to be seeing it that well when you can't see it all, is impressive from Dylan Cleaver.
I can tell you enjoyed that. Those red pants you've got on have a little tent, and why wouldn't they? As he tried to put in the pace here, there's going to be more. There's going to be wides here.
You'll see that. You see, Jeremy Wells looks for the run, as opposed to Jason Hoyt, who looks not for the run. So 16 for 1, the ACC after 1.4. Dylan Cleaver on 11 off 8. Jeremy Wells facing his first delivery, and he's taking centre like a professional-looking batsman, isn't he? It'd be great to see what the young man has to offer.
Yes, well, a lot of injuries in this man over the years, sort of held together by screws and pins. But he is here. He is fit for what we can tell. As Razor comes in, and that's a good ball, and he's beaten him outside the off stump.
Wells will be disappointed with that. That was there for the hitting. But the ACC running at 8.7 at the moment.
Okay, I think has the umpires called a ball early there?
Yeah, I think we've got another ball in that over. We're only tracking one we're tracking 5 balls in that over, but look.
Okay, then. I think maybe one of the wides wasn't called, but that's okay.
There's always a good chance we've got it wrong up here in the commentary booth.
Yeah, the crowd's starting to come in here. We've got Santos taking up the attack. And, geez, he looks like he's been to the gym once or twice in his life.
Yeah, Kane Lindsay goes by the name Santos. I think we're going to see a lot of this kind of bowling today.
I believe so. Coming off, there is a 7-step maximum, but no one's gone anywhere near that so far as he bowls right arm over. And a little inducker there. That's a nice ball. That's straight on off stump, and it's dealt with it in the respect that it deserved by Cleaver. Just kept out, played back along the pitch to the bowler as he charges it again off 3 steps. And it's a similar, but that's gone out. This Santos has some skills, Matt Heath.
Yes, certainly has, but played well there by Dylan Cleaver, and a good single.
Yes, nice single into the covers here. I mean, if this is anything like the social cricket that I've played, there should be a single every ball, because I've never seen a run out successful in club cricket until... That's another good one there. Could have gone with the shot there, but no. Sorry, in social cricket, until Jason Hoyt was run out in the first over. That was the first one I've ever seen.
You got to say, Jason Hoyt's pads have to take some of the blame for that run out.
Yeah. Here's Santos again in good shape there. That has beaten Wells, and he's gonna go out to square leg and give himself a talking to here. He's leaning back too far on his cut shots, and he knows that. It's currently none from 4. Santos bowls, and that is well beaten. Goodness me, he's
Santos is a good-looking man, isn't he? He's rock and bod.
Rock and bod, and can make the ball go both ways. And I would say he could make men go both ways.
Yeah, he's got a real Carlos Spencer vibe about him.
And that's a big out ducker as well. This is a hell of an over. Just 1 run coming from it. I think we're starting to see the real skill and talent that is in this side. And
the pressure goes on Jeremy Wells, because he spent the last year really laying into Jason Hoyt for a low run rate in the last game the ACC 11 played. And when you go 0-1, 0-0-0-0 in a T20, the pressure starts to come on you. The run rate's plummeted to 5.6. Dylan Cleaver will be looking to push that up around the 20 mark if he can over the next few overs.
Good to see Jason Hoyt with a smile on his face there, not too humiliated by his dismissal.
Here we go.
A young player here called Millsy, not sure of his pedigree, but I understand he owns a scaffolding company, as most ex-cricketers and all rugby players do. And looks relatively handy. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, Carl Millsy looks like he's got a good future in him.
Coming in here, and that's a lovely shot by Wells. He has punched that through cover, and you'd be happy with that if you were him. And suddenly he's off the mark, and his scoring rate doesn't look horrific.
I can imagine Jeremy Wells dining off hitting Carl Mills for 4 for quite a few years.
Well, you work with him every morning, Matt, and I dare say we're going to hear this story a number of times. That is
a beautiful shot from Wells.
You've got to be happy with that.
He might be a little bit worried about retaliation here from the ex-Kiwi international.
Yes, well, he is wearing a helmet, so Mills won't be ashamed of putting in a little chin music to the 7 sharp and Hauraki breakfast host. Here he comes now. That is full and swinging out. There's a bit of shape here at the in the air. It must be the humidity that is natural at the Bay Oval. They sneak
just
through
amble for 2 on the misfield. ACC 11-24 for 1.
You're being sent into bat by the Spartans, who are hoping to play a second game tonight.
Humiliating for Jason Hoyt with the whole wardrobe malfunction, but I can't help but feel he's pleased not to be facing Carl Mills.
Yeah, I think he's very happy right now as Mills ups his pace slightly, but it doesn't matter because Jeremy Wells has smoked that almost identically. In fact, I think he got hold of that one a little better. Slightly aerial through the covers, but no doubt about that, and that is 4 runs. And suddenly 10 from 9.
Look at the shit-eating grin on that man's face.
He's going to be pretty happy with this for a long time after struggling against the lesser known Santos, and really punishing Mills through the covers so far. Really 2 more balls in the over.
A bit of pressure on his box down there as well with the amount he's enjoying this over from Carl Mills.
Well, normally rocking the salted cashew, as we all know. Here's Mills again, but yeah, a little bit more heat on that. Doesn't like being shown up by a namby-pamby broadcaster sort of entertainer type. This is a hard man who's played all over the subcontinent and Africa, Australia. He knows what he's doing. Here comes Mills again, bowling right arm over the wicket, and that is
that's
dicing
wide,
with a wide line, but it is wide.
So it's a good over for the ACC. 13 off it, I believe. I mean, I'm not great at math, but I just had a quick look at the numbers and a few 1s and 2s, a couple of 4s in there.
Here's Mills. And I think he's played that on purpose, and that's going to be a 3rd 4 in the over for Wells. He will be very, very happy with that, as well as teammates. The ACC off to a fly here, 33 for 1 off 4.
I tell you what, Jeremy Wells has experienced some success in his life, but this might be his greatest moment. 3 4s of Carl Mills. He is going to be going back to that. He'll be cementing that in his bank and visiting it nightly.
Yes, he'll be clipping this up off YouTube and just playing that over a few times. Maybe on date night to his lovely partner to get her in the mood, get him in the mood.
Definitely get him in the mood more than her in the mood. 33 for 1. Solid start from the ACC 11.
Yeah, well, you'd even say after that a flyer, Matt Heath. You know, it's the fielding restrictions are on. That is true. After 6 overs, 5 players, I believe, are allowed outside the circle. Currently, only 2. Jeremy Wells made Kyle Mills pay for over pitching a couple of times there, and then some would say a little luck, but left arm over the wicket, and that'll be wide down the lead side, you'd think.
That's not a wide there from
wide?
Not called.
Okay.
But Cleaver is gutted with himself. Of course, he's one of New Zealand's top sports journalists. 2 great sports journalists in the ACC team. Paul Stewart Ford, also on the team, New Zealand's.
Here's Ribs,
top
and he's got hold of this. This is a lovely shot as well, but good work down on the boundary. Once again, he is a hell of an outfielder.
He certainly is.
Tim Foley coming up from Dunedin. I used to play cricket with Tim in Wellington, and always a talented fielder and batter. But he's, and that's over-pitched, and he's kept it out. And I tell you what, D. Cleaver and Jay Wells are putting together a nice little partnership here, Matt Heath.
Yeah, they certainly have steadied the ship here. Run rates sitting at 8. Happy with that. You got 15 and a half overs to go. 36 for 1, the ACC. They'll be happy with this. And by they, I mean us, because we're both in the team.
Coming round the wicket now is Ribs. And, that's a good ball there, but it's kept out by Wells, and they'll jog through for 1. Would you say their success as a partnership so far has been due largely to not tripping over their protective equipment when running?
Yes. I've got to say, it really hindered Jason Hoyt. He seemed to have adult pads on when he probably needed children's pads on.
Well, that was a bit of an issue. Here's Ribs, and he's pushed that one down the leg side, and that is called wide. So
extras mounting up for the Spartan 11, the Dulux Spartan 11.
Of course, 8 ball maximum overs as Ribs coming in, bowling his left arm around to deep Cleaver, and that's outside the off stump and straight to the man, but there is a misfield.
And they just amble through for a single. You've got to be happy with that. Dylan Cleaver, 17 off 15. Wells, 15 off 12. Have you ever seen Wells score at that kind of clip?
No, after sort of being none off 6 to this sort of run rate, he's really picked it up. Bowling the last ball of the over now, you would think, or not. That is a wide.
Maximum 8 ball overs in the Dulux Big Bay Bash. So the over can extend out, but it can't extend out too far.
Ribs looks like a hardened old cricketer. He'll pull this over back, and it's a lovely shot, and it's gone straight up. Who's underneath it? There's calls aplenty, and it has been taken, and a lovely cameo from the captain comes to an end. Jeremy Wells is out, caught and bowled Ribs for 15, but I tell you what, he will not be ashamed at that over against #1 ranked ODI bowler in the world, Kyle Mills. He won't give two shits, if I'm honest, about what happened there, because he smashed Kyle Mills for 3 fours.
And he certainly didn't humiliate himself in the way that Jason Hoyt did with the pad wrapping around his leg.
Just handing over to Jason Hoyt now, and Paul Stewart.
Two. So a relatively positive start here from the ACC team, and Dylan Cleaver proving to be the anchor of the side. A horrendous run out of Jason Hoyt earlier in the match, with Hoyty J looking in fine touch, and Cleaver rooted to the spot there as he turned one square, but that's by the by, and we won't go on about it, Paul Ford.
Yeah, you saw it differently to me, Jason. I mean, you did have a great view as you came heading down the pitch, expecting a deaf and partially blind man to respond to your call. It was quite ambitious, I thought.
Well, I was very much looking forward to facing old Millsy. But as it turned out, Jeremy Wells took him to the cleanest 3 boundaries in the over. And as Matty Heath was saying, he'll be dining on that for about the next 2 years at least, I would imagine. That's a wide down the leg side, and a bit of a misfield too from the keeper. And there'll be at least one. The new batsman is
Chucky Hensel.
Chucky Hensel.
Out of St. Paul's Collegiate. Prominent Hamilton family.
I tell you what, Paul Ford, a lot of movement in the air, you'll notice. The ball's really hooping around quite a lot.
Yes, it is. Foley in now to Cleaver.
Oh.
To the back foot. Can't get hold of that one. Tim Foley, absolute rock star. People's champion he was last start for the...
Lofted by Cleaver out to deep mid-wicket. He'll get another run.
Yeah, for the Dulux Big Bay Bash. But they do say that he was the people's champion that day, but it's really gone to his head. Tim Foley's got really cocky.
Has he?
Yeah.
Yeah, often the case, isn't it? Lovely action, though. Very compact. Little bit of hoop. I'd liken him to the sort of Jeremy Coney sort of dibbly-dobblers. Little bit of movement in the air, and you've got to have your focus or you could be in all sorts of trouble. Short, no, miscued from Hensel, Chucky Hensel, and no run.
Yeah, loves rocking onto that back foot, Chucky Hensel. Very, very strong through square leg and point.
I have to say, the Bay Oval looking absolutely magnificent today. Short and pulled by Hensel down to a wideish fine leg, and they'll get another run. I believe, Paul Ford, you're coming in at number 9 today, mate. Are you disappointed about your place in the batting line up there?
No, it's the highest I've ever batted, Jason. I'm quite excited.
Foley again. This is lofted by Cleaver, and he's caught. He's on his way. He tried to loft them over cover, miscued, a little bit of hoop in the air, and a miscue from Cleaver, and he's on his way for 18 off 16.
Yeah, Kyle Mills diving away to his left. The big curly head lummox got down to that one beautifully, and to those big bucket hands.
He's a big unit, isn't he, old Millsy?
Yeah, quite intimidating, Jason. Not for you, but for a mere mortal such
yeah,
as myself.
For most people, yeah, certainly not in my case. But yeah, he's a big unit. I never realised he's actually built like a brick shithouse, isn't he? And I can imagine in his heyday he would have been quite a frightening prospect.
You're dialing back some of your comments about Kyle Mills.
So Lee Hart, the new man in.
He's literally just arrived.
Yeah,
That's an
off the
extraordinary
plane,
effort. That's a
off the plane.
Superman-esque manoeuvre from Lee Hart.
Well, you seriously couldn't ask for a better day at Bay Oval. It is already a magnificent ground, and what a great privilege and honour it is to be playing here, Paul Ford. It's like a childhood dream realised, mate.
It is, and it's quite extraordinary looking around with cameras on the field, like
Yes.
really putting you in with the batsman, and it's a picture of a place. Mawao in the distance, of course,
Yes,
framed up against some not too frightening looking clouds.
the mountainous salt hills there.
Is it salt, is it?
Yes, it is salt.
South American salt or salt?
No, I think it's legitimate salt. It could be, if it's South American salt, it's done well to stay there for so long. Short and full and wide, sorry, from Foley it was, yes, and Hart probably about 5 minutes late on the shot there, but the intent was good.
Well, the ACC Vice-Captain Mike Lane has said that anyone who doesn't have a go at their first ball, which they can't get out from, will be relegated down the order for next year's fixture, Jace. So I don't think you'll be opening next week based on your immaculate forward defensive that you played to your first delivery out there today.
I don't know if you...
One of the two you faced before you ran yourself out.
I need you to tell me, how did I look on the big screen? Apart from the wardrobe malfunction. Twice.
Janet Jackson comes to mind.
Yeah, it was a debacle.
There you are. Talk us through it, Jace. I mean, the way that pad came off behind you and then sort of tripped you up at the end, it was quite something.
I want to see that again, please, because it was a horrendous stranding from Cleaver.
Ignominious.
So new bowler, 44 for 3 after 6. This is down the leg side, and Hensel tries to turn it down leg. Not called wide there, interesting call. No from Cleaver. Plenty of runs there. Oh, unbelievable. This is short and wide and cut by Hensel out to a deepish point, and they'll get a single.
Yeah, it's Lee Hart again. Do you think Lee will be playing defensively today, or will he roll the eyes to the back of the head and try and pummel it up into the big screen?
I will tell you this, Paul Ford. We were in the nets once with Lee Hart, and he played 2 blazing cover drives in the nets off a bowling machine that was bowling at 130. I think it was totally tin ass, but they were very impressive. Short and wide down the leg side, and it'll be called wide.
He takes an incredible guard, Lee Hart. I mean, you probably can't see this from the embankment, but he shows all 3 stumps.
Yes.
He's sort of taken a 5-leg guard, which is quite something. Very tempting for Scooby.
It's another dibbly-dobbler short, and in the air and clipped over slip. A bit of a miscue more than anything else. He'll just get the single. No, says Lee Hart, and that's all there will be.
Very difficult to set a field for that, Jason Hoyt.
Yes, it is.
What did you call it? A sort of a cut shot over slip.
Yes.
But didn't go outside the circle.
No. It's more of a lob, wasn't it? So Hensel now just clips this elegantly down to long on, and they'll just get a single. The ACC maybe need to look to sort of up the ante a little bit. Lee Hart needs to play some of his blazing cover drives to shut his eyes and just throw that big bit of willow at it and hope for the best. The field packing in now. Look at that pull forward.
Disrespectful.
Short and wide and in the air. Oh, and he could be run out, but no. Oh, dearie me, what a debacle.
Playing a lot of sort of badminton drop shots, isn't he? Just sort of knocking it back over the high net.
Yeah, let's have a look at the side on. Tried to slash him away and it just popped up in the air.
Interesting that he thought there might be a single there. And his bat's still not in the crease and
he would
safe
have been
now.
run out as the bowler comes in again. This is a good delivery and he has a almighty heaved his heart but makes no connection.
sensational over so far. Just 3 runs and a wide off it. Outstanding bowling from Scooby. It's 48 for 3 after 7.
Well, you see that sort of pace, don't you, pull forward, and you think, all right, I'm going to really hoe into this. But it's often you need the pace to threaten the boundary. You need a bit of pace on the ball, and those little dibbly dobblers are sometimes hard to get away.
Well, hopefully, because the ACC team is absolutely chock
Stacked.
full of dibbly dobbly, autumn leaf falling from a tree type scenario.
Absolutely. New bowler in.
Is that Blackwood there setting the field? Outstanding. He knows what he's doing out there.
Well, I'm hoping that I get to set the field today. I was quite handy with the old field. This is bullish and plugged by Hensel. An unusual shot down the ground for 4. Much needed runs for the ACC.
It's a lovely shot from Chucky Hensel. Quite an accomplished batsman in his schoolboy days. Known to vomit down his front occasionally as well whilst batting. That nearly... The interesting thing about this is it came back at such pace. Lee Hart had not enough time really to move out of the way, so Lee Hart just periscoped his bat up, which
Yes,
could have
he
been
did.
extremely problematic for Chucky Hensel.
Comes the bowler again. Full and driven down the ground again. And is he going to beat the fieldsman? It's nicely timed, but no, nice bit of fielding on the boundary. And they'll come back for 2.
Well, will they?
Steaming down the pitch there. And
when you see Lee Hart
They'll
doing
get
that,
2.
you do realise where the word steam, what a steamroller is. He really did steam down. It's quite a sight to behold Lee Hart at full tilt.
So Hensel now beginning to find his range as the bowler comes in, and this is a wide delivery. We called wide.
Yeah, Chucky Hensel's got inside Athel's head here. It's 55 for 3.
Wearing his cap too, and this is full, and it just dips down on the batsman. Hensel drives down to long on again, just the single. He moves to 10 off 9.
Lee Hart. I've got a feeling about this one, Jace.
Do you, mate? Full, and he it's an outside edge there, fielded it, slipped, no run.
Doesn't beat slip this time.
No, well, it didn't lob over him. Of course, Lee Hart famous for dismissing the hairy jab in our last match, and this is a good delivery. Oh, that's a close shout. That is fair, and he's given him. That was right in front, and no question about that. It was hitting middle and off and hard after trying to heave him down the ground. Absolutely plumb.
Athel gets revenge. Chucky Hensel took him for the cleaners a little bit earlier in the over. Looks dead and buried unless there was an inside edge, which I think I saw some sort of insinuations from Lee Hart. Wildly ambitious.
Yeah. So Lane now.
What sort of tips do you think Lee Hart would be giving G Lane about playing cricket?
God knows, but G Lane comes out to the crease now. The saviour of the last ACC innings. He's put on a bit of weight since then, but certainly has the capabilities of taking any bowling attack apart, as he likes to tell us. And
verbally and physically.
Verbally and physically, and he'll be looking to get on with it and set a good platform for the ACC.
It's appropriate that the Lancaster bomber heads over the top, and Mike Lane, of course, the ACC's very own Lancaster bomber. Chuck Hensel and Mike Lane have played an enormous amount of backyard cricket together. Nick Hensel's backyard was very famous. His father, Ron, may he rest in peace, absolutely magnificent coach of these two boys.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, he is a relatively accomplished batsman, Mike Lane, and he'll be looking to get the ACC back on track here, because we're in a bit of trouble at 56 for 4 in the 8th.
Yeah, he's a huge fan of the first ball,
Heath.
Can't get out rule, which I'm sure he would have instigated. Plays right into his wheelhouse.
So Lane will be facing a very, very tight field, you have to say. The offside absolutely packed. And Lane will be fancying his chances. Big acreage over cover, over point, over mid-off, and he'll be looking to access that. Oh, miscue off his first ball. You'll be disappointed with that effort.
Frees the shoulders though, and I'm sure that's not the last one of those shots that we'll see this afternoon. Well, certainly attempted shots. Hensel just comes down and tells him to calm down. He won't be listening.
Nice little crowd in too, I'd say. What do you reckon, Paul Ford? 8,000-9,000?
Something like that, Jace. Yep. I think that might just be the Mount Maunganui College school kids coming across the fields though, Jace. I'm not sure if that's the crowd.
Yeah, maybe. So, Lane. Oh no, a change of end, of course, and so will be Hensel, Chuck Hensel to face. Holding the innings together at the moment. Very loose sort of grip he has. Short and pulled away. Out to square leg for 4. Nice shot, much needed.
He's bisected the two fielders out there. It's a lovely shot from Chuck. He does love that pull shot.
If you're looking for something to eat this afternoon, make sure to head down there to the Real Italian Donuts, of course. You can pick yourself up some donuts and ice cream. Bar is now open as well.
Of course, the maximum number of overs every bowler can bowl is 2.
Yes.
So there'll be a huge amount of variation in the bowling.
Of course, if you're looking for some hot food, of course, there is the
It's Scooby in now to Chucky Hensel.
fries.
Oh, it's wide and left alone by Hensel. Another run to the scoreboard there. And I've got a feeling, Paul Ford, the ACC crew will need every single run they can get today.
Yeah, I was trying to work out whether we were a batting team or a bowling team. I wasn't quite sure.
I think we're a fielding team. This is full and beats Hensel outside the off stump. Vicious swing in the air. Yeah, it's hard to discern. And you're right about our bowling attack. A real series of dibbly-dobblers and off-spinners and no real pace. Short and pulled away again by Hensel. Down to the man at wide fine leg, and he makes a bit of a balls up off it, but in the end fields well.
It was going about 140 kilometres an hour. It's not a bad effort down there.
62 for 4 in the 9th over.
Lane to
Lane
face.
to
Second.
face.
Goodness me. Here we go.
Oh, another miscue straight to the man at mid-wicket. No run.
Strike 2.
But you can see he's got some intent. He's looking to get on with it. Really lift that run rate.
Running with a Lee Hart guard. 3 legs.
Full and lofted in the air, and he's gone! Corner cover! Oh, tragedy for the ACC. Just a miscue there. He looked to thrash it through the offside. And Lane, head bowed, heads off the Bay Oval in disgrace.
Yeah, it's slightly worse, isn't it? A 3-ball duck versus a 2-ball duck, Jace. Is it
Yeah.
great to be sort of off the bottom?
Yeah. I tell you what, especially with the old run out. Now Lane, he'll be disappointed, as the ACC are. He's probably our kingpin there in the middle order, and just had a brain explosion and a massive miscue there, caught by Millsy at cover.
Of all the people you want to go out to out there, Cole Mills is probably not the one. Is that Kane Williamson coming out to
It
bat?
looks a little bit like Kane, doesn't it?
Oh, no, it's Ian Dodson. One of the Radio Hauraki winners. Joins his great mate, former flatmate, Chucky Hensel.
Well, I tell you what, it's just carnage at the moment, and after Jeremy Wells just took Millsy apart in that over, smashing him all over the ground for 3 boundaries. It's been a slow and steady decline for the ACC, and the loss of Lane there with what has to be said, and you just got to be blunt sometimes, a massively uncoordinated shot that just looped up into the air and was taken by Millsy.
It was reckless cavalier, and he's left his team, our team, in a hole, Jace.
It's a massive hole, Paul Ford, and I can see you having to come in and turn the ship around, mate. This is short and wide and a slash from Hensel, but Dodson, but no run, but it's called wide. So the ACC at the moment 63 for 5. I think of that 63, probably 40 odd in extras as The bowler comes in again. Oh, short and slow and lofted down the ground to the man that's long off. They look for two, but no, they're sent back.
It's a good arm too from the deep. At the end of the over, it's 64 for 5 for the ACC against the Dulux Spartans.
Yes, indeed. Really is a magnificent ground. And I tell you what, I'm really fizzing at the bung with the chance of fielding on that field, actually, Paul Ford. And you yourself, you're like our specialist fieldsman, aren't you? 4 spectacular catches in the game before last that really held the team together. As we look at Lane being dismissed again off a massive miscue.
That's true, Jace. Just not very good at all the other elements of cricket.
Well, you know what they say, catches win matches, Paul Ford.
It
and
depends.
You took 4. It was one of those Lee Harts, actually, off the hairy jab.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
what
right.
a catch that was. Diving metres to your right, one-handed, down the leg side. Stunning stuff.
Every time I see the hairy jab down in Wellington, he brings it up. So he's bitter and twisted about it. Me catching it, Hart bowling it. Terrible combination.
Well, this is just drifted in there and tucked down to long on for another single. 65 for 5 in the 10th.
Atherland again now to Chucky Hensel.
Doesn't do much with the ball, just floats it in there, doesn't it? Doesn't he? As it's slashed to cover, no run.
It's quite frustrating, actually.
It really is an autumn leaf that just flutters down. But he gets good accuracy and slashed away again by Hensel. Doesn't beat cover. Applying the grip now. Really turning the screws on the ACC.
How many's enough, Jace? That's what I want to know. 65.
Short and pulled by Hensel. Bit of that diving attempt there at wide mid-on. And another diving effort at long on. And they'll get a couple.
Great effort in the deep. Sensational fielding.
Well, speaking of fielding, we're going to have to be on our game today, the ACC. We're going to have to fire that ball back to the keeper as Heath comes in again. It's just another ball just placed and nicely placed here by Hensel. And that'll go through the covers for 4 much-needed runs.
Lovely shot from Chucky, just rocking onto the back foot, clipping it through the covers.
Do you think rocking is the appropriate word there? Rocking onto the back foot?
Well, I don't know. What else can you do onto the back foot?
It was more of a sort of slow lean.
Stumbled.
It was slow
Leant onto the back foot.
Full driven down the ground again by Hensel. And is he going to beat the man at long on? Oh, no. Nice bit of fielding there, and they'll get another couple. That's the end of 10 overs. Oh, and he hits the stumps.
Ribsy on fire down there.
10 overs gone. The ACC 73 for 5 as Lee Hart and Jeremy Wells take over the commentary.
Thanks so much, Jason Hoyt. And what a great effort it was from Jason Hoyt out there earlier on batting.
Certainly was, Jeremy, certainly was. Great to watch. I just ran out from a taxi cab. Actually, I was running late to the game, and as soon as I got there, straight in with the pads on the field. A lot of pressure.
Yeah, but it was a good look for you. It was certainly a good-looking 1 of 6.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen worse stats before. I don't think you can underestimate the difficulty batting when you can hear the commentators talking about you. You know, over the PA system. So it puts a lot of pressure on you.
Let's just have a look at that innings as this here is.
Oh yes,
I believe your dismissal, and you swung
But just imagine
away.
I connected it. Where would it have gone?
It was one of the plumbest LBWs you'll ever see. Oh, there's a big shout, but it's just sliding down leg side.
Yeah, I'm not too keen to see that replay again, but it's that's what cricket's all about, Jerry.
This is Dylan Cleaver's dismissal. Kyle Mills, fantastic catch.
You got to say, it's pretty good fielding at the moment from the Dulux.
Oh, what a catch that is. Jeepers creepers, that's the end of Dodson. And that's an absolute screamer
by Broadhead, who's taken it. He smashed it, his Dodson, and Broadhead essentially was going to get killed if he didn't take that catch, but luckily he got the hands up and took a fantastic catch.
I think other than the LB, it's pretty much all been catches, isn't it? Or run out, of course.
Here is Dingo, and he slides in, bowls wicket to wicket. Dodson smashed it right at Dingo's face, but he took a sensational catch. Look at this, he got it right out of the screws to Dodson, and he'll be disappointed. Look at that. Oh. So the ACC in all sorts of trouble. 73 for 6 in the 11th.
The little time I was out there, Jerry, though, the pitch felt good. It felt good. Certainly coming on, but not coming on enough for me.
Now, I know you like incredibly fast services, and ideally you'd like the type of batting wicket you're looking for is something that you'd produce in Western Australia, maybe at the WACA ground.
Yeah. Well, I did a lot of my cricket, of course, over in Western Australia and Eastern Australia, but in Australia in general, a lot of it in the outback.
And I know you're a big fan of when the crevices open up on those Western Australian pitches, and you did a lot of practice, didn't you,
Yes,
when
we did.
you were training by playing in areas that had giant cracks going down
No,
them?
that's right. If anything, this pitch was too good for me today. Too predictable.
So the new batsman, Ben Hurley, can he salvage the innings here for the ACC? Really struggling here at 73 for 6. They've still got another 9 overs. And now 2 slips as well for the Spartans.
Yeah, kind of criminal not to see your overs out in the T20 when you start with the batting, but
Oh, this one's full from Dingo, and Hurley doesn't cash in on that first delivery. Of course, there is a rule here, no golden ducks, so you can have a crack in that first ball.
I didn't know that. I wish I'd known that.
There's Dingo again. This one's full down the leg side.
I wonder if they'll let me go back out and have my first ball again then.
Well, if the ACC come through here and do play in this game and they win this game, then they'll be playing again under lights later on, the winner of this game. So you may get another chance. And I know you are particularly fond of playing under lights, all that experience. Here's Dingo again. That's a good delivery. Beats Hurley.
You really wonder what kind of prep this ACC team did together prior to this, don't you, looking at this?
Well, the concerning thing is, Lee, I know there's a huge amount of preparation for this particular series, 10 weeks. Because last year we felt like we were underprepared, so we started doing a lot more fitness work, out cricket, a lot of catching practice.
Reading.
Going back over the history of the game, and this really is an interesting field here for Dingo. This is pulled away. And they might look for two here.
Yeah.
And it's on. Good running from the ACC 11.
Thanks for the use of your box, by the way, Jerry. That was very kind of you.
It's good of you to wear 2 pairs of undies.
Right.
Hensel going along nicely, Chucky Hensel, 23 off 17. The wristy little right-hander. Oh, he's got a sticky pair of hands as well.
Funny enough, he was called a wristy little right-hander even before his cricket days back in boarding school, wasn't he?
That's right, he certainly was. He did some great work in the showers, there's no doubt about that, Chucky Hensel. Let's see if he can put a partnership together here with Hurley.
Not easy to do. Oh, yes.
Oh, now that there is a wide, and that is an absolute pie that was asking to be dispatched. And I think Chucky Hensel will be upset that he didn't get a hold of that. Ooh. Again, a pie, but an accurate pie.
76 for 6 off 11.
What's a good score here, Lee Hart?
Look, if we got 90, I think we'd be doing well.
Here comes Heap. And that's... Can't describe that as a good delivery. I was told that Heap, interestingly, had a bit of pace in the nets yesterday. Obviously, we haven't seen that at this stage, but you never know. Might just be foxing Ben Hurley. Oh, this one's high in the air and coming up underneath it. And he's being dismissed as Hurley just spoons it up. And that is the end of Ben Hurley for 2 runs of 4 deliveries.
Yeah, he doesn't look happy, and he shouldn't be. He should be ashamed of himself for that shot. He's let himself down. He's let his team down. He's let his family down.
Let's have another look at that, because it was really just asking to be smashed away, this delivery. It was full on the pads, and Hurley just spooned it straight to the only man there on the leg side, who came around and took a solid catch. Nothing wrong with that.
It wasn't a bad shot, really. He got hold of it.
Yeah, but he got hold of it straight down the throat of the fieldsman. There's one guy out there, and we really needed Hurley to hang around. You'd actually call that not dumb cricket from the ACC team. In fact, the whole innings, you'd say, at 78 for 7 has been dumb.
Well, it hasn't been the smartest innings I've seen.
If you describe this innings, you say dumb, schoolboy,
dumb,
childlike, stupid,
immature,
idiotic, lacking any skill,
reckless,
poorly thought out. And that's why you get to 78 for 7.
Really lacking direction as well. And you're the captain, Jerry. What did you say? I was in a cab at the time. What did you say to the team before?
I said what we need to do is we need to develop partnerships. We need to get in there. We need to see what the pace of the pitch is like. We've got to see off Kyle Mills, particularly, who's a danger man. Luckily, Paul Stewart-Ford, New Zealand's premier sports journalist, is next man in. And he's got a great head for cricket. There's no doubt about it. He knows every situation. He's a statistician. He's a historian of the game. He's a scholar.
Has he been in a situation this dire before?
No, he probably hasn't. But at the same time, if ever there was a man for a crisis, it's Paul Stewart-Ford, New Zealand's premier sports journalist. And he knows Hensel. This is the thing. Hensel and Ford, school friends, have batted together before, albeit in Shane Warne cricket on the PlayStation, but they have batted together before. They know each other, and I expect that their communication will be pretty good, Lee Hart.
Yeah. Big shout out to Paul out there. If he can hear us, give us a wave. I just want him to know that we are commentating him like he was for us. Can you hear us, Paul?
Oh yeah, he can hear us. All right. This is punched down the ground from Hensel. He'll just get one, and it brings Paul Stewart-Ford on strike. Of course, first ball, you can't get out. So he may as well have a crack here, Paul Stewart-Ford.
Yeah, I wish I'd known that. I really do.
Yeah, it's just one of the many rules that it doesn't seem that you know.
Well, I didn't think we were doing LBs.
Here's Paul Stewart-Ford. He's mistimed this to short cover. And that's, can't now, he can get out from now on, can Paul Stewart-Ford. Oh, he just, that one there was asking to be absolutely spanked. And he's just missed it. Robbo, I mean, this is a great over. 4 from it, and a wide. And Paul Stewart-Ford over the top of cover. Doesn't quite time it as well as he would have liked. Kyle Mills lumbers after it.
Do you expect to see Mills bowling at some point?
Yep, well, he's had one over already.
He has?
Yep. let's just say it went for a few. End of the over, 81 for 7, the ACC 11. Here is that over, and I believe that's me batting. Yeah, spanked them over the top of the slips, of course on purpose, up and over.
Just that extra pace, isn't it, that helps you get the ball to the boundary. I'm not blaming the bowlers for my lack of runs, but
if we can
they were involved.
If we can just get a replay of the cover drive that I played off Kyle Mills, that would be absolutely sensational. And unfortunately, that's me and my dismissal. Embarrassing running as well from me there. Looking like a 54-year-old woman.
I think that's unfair to 54-year-old women, Jeremy, really.
Oh, beautiful shot from Hensel. Just uses the pace. And that runs away down to the boundary. It won't get to the boundary, though. They'll just come back for 2. Hensel moves to 27. And the ACC, 83 for 7.
Well, we've still got Matt Heath, of course, to come in.
Yeah, there's a bit of a problem there. I haven't probably told you about this, but he's got a Hagrid's bassoon in his left and right ankle. This is whipped away by Hensel. Down. Oh, no! That's sensational in the end. It was 4. No, did he bounce it over the rope or not? That's the question. Umpire's saying it's 4. That's unfortunate, because that's a man who took a good catch earlier on off Ben Hurley. Let's have another look at this. He'll be disappointed because Hensel really got hold of it. And in the end, it was right down his throat. He moved nicely to his right, but he'll be disappointed. That's a good line of length. So Hensel moves to 31, really holding this ACC 11 innings together. As the run rate slips below 7 for the first time. Just 7 overs remaining after this. This is fetched by Hensel beautifully. Good timing behind square on the leg side.
We really just needed 2 or 3 more players like Hensel, didn't we? Really.
Yeah, guys that can play cricket. Guys that have played some kind of cricket at some stage is what we needed in hindsight. This is me versus Kyle Mills, which is good that we're having another look at this. That's right, they bolstered the offside. And Kyle Mills thought, you know what, I'm going to bowl to my field. But I just smashed him through cover there.
Great bit of gapping there.
.91 for 7. This is the 13th over. That's a good shot by Hensel again, chipping it over the infield. That'll be 4 more. Good shot. There's a big gap out there. And they'll probably want to plug that gap at some stage, because he loves to score in that mid-wicket region, does Chucky Hensel. Very wristy.
Well, I think the tactic now, of course, is just to be there with Hensel. Give him the strike.
I ran into Lung earlier on. Good to see Lung again back for the 3rd year. Great New Zealander, Lung. Here comes Kyle Mills, is going to come into the attack again. He went for plenty in his last over. Question is, what are Paul Ford and Chucky Hensel going to do?
This, of course, was a try series. There was another game after this, isn't there, Jerry?
That's right. What can Paul Ford do to Kyle Mills?
Great to see the ambulance there as well. In case there's any injuries. Oh, it's a taco truck. Sorry. It's better than nothing, I suppose, if you pull a hammy.
I suppose you could wrap a taco around your hamstring or stuff it around your groin. Here comes Kyle Mills to pull Stuart forward. Ford gives himself some room to a ball that was outside off stump. Just needs to stay in his crease, pull Stewart forward. He knows that Mills is going to take the ball away from the right-hander. Here he is. This time he's given himself some room and gone up and over the top. And that will race away to the boundary for 4. Great shot by Paul Stewart Ford. The best shot Paul Stewart Ford has ever played in his cricketing career, without a doubt. And I've seen a lot of Paul Stewart Ford's cricketing career. He'll be very pleased with that.
Yep.
Kyle Mills, however, not so much. Oh, there we go. Just bowl it straight, and that's the end of Ford.
Yeah, you said it, Jerry. He was moving it away from the right hander there, the ball before, and he consciously did that. He bowled it straight, knowing Ford was going to perhaps try to take him again.
He just didn't get in line, did he? Let's have another look. It was just, he just said, look, you miss, I'll hit, Mills. And that really is a stock standard straight delivery that Paul Stewart Ford has played a very unusual shot to. He's backed away, he's cleared the hip, and clears the hip, and no, that's not good looking. And that's the end of Paul Stewart Ford. He goes for 6.
Oh, yes. Yes, this is certainly a controversial but exciting big name of Matt Heath coming out there to bat. We know what he can do.
Well, he normally, of course, would be either opening at 3 or 4, but because of his Hagrid's bassoon, this problem that he's got at the moment with his Achilles, because his calves are so large, they're pulling up on the Achilles tendon, and it's actually pulled it over the top of the bone in his ankle. And as a result, he really can't walk. And unfortunately, there's no allowance for runners in this form of the game. So as a result, he's going to have to try and hobble his way down the pitch. So either, in my opinion, either he's got to swing, he's got to hit 4s or 6s, or nothing.
Yeah, that's right. He likes to play a lot of his cricket in the V, does Matt Heath. That includes the stuff he misses. You know, if he's going to miss, it's in the V. If he's going to hit it, it's in the V. Likes to roll the head back occasionally. That mane of hair and the wind.
Well, he's got the first ball grace.
Aggressive stance.
Yeah, there's a little bit baseball. There's something baseball-y going on there.
Agricultural.
Here comes Mills. First ball for Heath. He sprays it down the leg side, and it's a dot. He's looking for a wide, but you don't really umpire when you're batting, unfortunately. That's up to the umpire. So that's his grace. So he can now get out. There he is. Got into line there quite nicely and just defended it away. Well, he's not happy. Maybe he thought that was there for the taking. Gotta be careful here, because Mills might just slide one through. Swing and a miss from Heath.
Stepping away from the stumps as he plays these shots, but giving himself room.
Into the over, 14 gone, 99 for 8. He seems to be moving a lot freer than what he was earlier on, actually, Heath. Maybe the Hagrid's bassoon. I believe he's had a couple of injections.
Yes.
And a couple of pain relievers.
And I think just the adrenaline of the moment, Jerry, in a big match like this, he doesn't want to miss out on this occasion. Look at the crowd. It's sold out. Huge crowd here. Beautiful day here at the Oval.
It's definitely the biggest crowd that either Matt Heath or Chucky Hensel have played in front of, I reckon. Which brings pressure. This is Santos. That's wide.
I think it's really the scoreboard pressure which is more of a concern at the moment. 100 for 8 off 14, 6 overs to come. Prediction there, Jerry?
Well, question is, what's a good score here? Santos steams in. This is aerial from Hensel, but over the top. And in the end, they'll come back for a couple.
Ooh, you're limping there a bit, Matt Heath. Nice to be a part of Hensel's innings, you know.
41 off 26. In fact, that is the end of Chucky Hensel, because you have to retire on 40, and he batted superbly for the ACC. He's really held it together. 41 off 26 for the wristy Chucky Hensel.
a lot of batsmen part of that partnership with Hensel, part of that. Oh yes, Joe Jury, for Ian Botham-like player, isn't he?
Yeah, there he is, Joe Jury.
It's a photo from his, what is that?
It's a photo when I think he was part of the bridal party at one of his friends' weddings. I think later on he went on to get dangerously steamed and ended up under the bridal table, sucking on the toes of the mother of the bride. Just one of the many embarrassing situations he's created in his life over the years. Will this be another one of them?
Well, he's coming in under a lot of pressure here, 102 for 8.
Well, what the ACC need to do here is they need to bat out their innings.
But I think with the experience of Heath and Jury there, I think we can do that.
First ball, and can't be out OBW. He's gone across the stumps. Just sliding down leg, I think, there perhaps.
A bit like my one was.
I think your one was a little bit sort of straighter than that. It was.
Yeah, depends where you're sitting.
It was absolutely plumb. We can get another replay of that if you'd like. This one's a good delivery from Santos, just short of a length and in at the pads of Jury.
Is there a review system?
Well, I mean, certainly if I was at the other end, here's you.
Here's the swing.
You describe that as an absolute pie, and that has hit you halfway up your thigh. It's a shot from Drury, straight through. Look at the power of the man. And look at Heath in between the stumps. That's not going. Oh no, he's got to come back for 3. This is not good for Heath. Look at him.
Maybe we can get like a lime scooter out there from or something.
Some kind of gurney. If he can just hop onto a gurney and then
hop onto one of those.
See how he deals.
Like a little trolley, and he can pull himself on a rope.
Like a Burma trail. There he is facing Santos.
Oh!
He's given himself a bit of room and tried to cut him away.
There it is. Let's get that out there for Matt.
Grab that kid's scooter, Matt, and if you can get that, might help you between the wickets. Last ball of the over. Oh, he's had a wild sort of swing at that. It's not going anywhere. Into the over.
There's plenty of scooters there that Matt could choose from. You could have it, yeah.
Does one of you want to take that scooter out to Matt, who's out there batting? Just trying to think who that here reminds me of. Is it Simon O'Donnell? 1987, 88, played for Australia. What is
Imran Khan, perhaps? Was he? Did he have a bit of a...
What can Joe Jury do here? He's gone across the stumps and he's pulled it away, and Heath is battling between the wickets. There's not 2 there.
These are the runs that Matt Heath doesn't want. 2s and 3s. But he's going to have to take him.
He's got to hit some 4s here. It's the only way. He can't be running between the wickets. There he goes. Just chipped this up, and somehow he got dropped. There was it. He scampered through for a single. Well, the ACC will take the runs wherever they can come. This has been driven down the ground by Jury as Heath puts the head down and gets 1. Looks to get 2, but it's not on.
Jury 5 from 5.
This is the drop catch. An absolute sitter. Oh. I think that may have been Dean Blackwood there at point. Made an absolute meal of that.
As Mike Lane joins us in the commentary booth. Mike, it's all about partnerships cricket, isn't it?
Absolutely, Lee. Good partnership building here between Quasimodo and Joe Jury.
Would you say there was a lot of good partnerships up to this point?
0, actually. Wickets fell regularly.
How did you go out there, ACC head G Lane? This is cut away by Jury and through the gap. They'll get one as Heath hobbles through again.
Well, it was almost like a net session, wasn't it? Where they said, look, you guys can face 4 balls each.
Yeah, look, it was disappointing. Like Lee, I had a very disappointing innings. I
wouldn't say that.
My eyes, my eyes lit up with the big dibbly-dobbly that came floating down at me, and I skewed it up in the air straight to the big mitts of Kyle Mills.
Here it is here.
Wow, see, that's such a disappointing way to go out.
You picked out the best fielderman in the team.
I know. And it was there to be hit. Look,
why are you batting outside
because watch,
leg?
and then I move over, and that was going into the saltworks.
Yeah.
If I'd actually connected with that was going to the saltworks, and so disappointing. I wanted to bat with Chucky Hensel. Great day here at the Bay Oval. Look at it. Magnificent, Dulux steady the ships everywhere.
Jury cuts it. Can't beat cover. He's looking good, Joe Jury. I don't want to put the commentator's curse on him, but maybe that's just because he's batting with Matt Heath. He's gone and across the stumps and tried to pull it away.
Great ice hockey player, Joe Jury. So you can see the ice hockey in him. He holds it like a big long puck, like a hockey stick.
Yep.
Here we go,
down the ground. What a shot that is from Joe Jury. That's rocketed over the rope. Timing the ball beautifully, Joe Jury. Moves on to 10 off 9.
We just need to bat our overs out, Lee and Jeremy, and 120, 130, that's defendable. That is defendable. A couple of early wickets, bit of pressure.
Yeah, don't premeditate your shot so much. I've found guilty of that.
What were you looking to do with that delivery? That
drive it straight down the ground.
This one's been pulled away, no timing, and that's the end. Is that Ribsy in there?
No, it's Kyle Mills. He's taken 3 catches today. We've picked out the best fielder, ex-international Kyle Mills. Disappointing the ACC, but good news for the ACC is Nick Hensel will come back out into the middle, the in-form in Hensel. Or as he comes out, he's just had a bit of hydration. As we look at the replay of Joe Jury, not a lot of foot movement, deep in the crease and straight to the tallest person in the field by a mile.
He had to go for it though.
He did.
He was playing his natural game. He was getting runs.
Powerful toilet on him. Look at that.
There's Chucky Hensel back in.
Yes.
Was it Jason Hoyt? Hold on, is that Jason Hoyt?
No,
it's not Jason Hoyt.
No, it's a far more athletic Jason Hoyt.
If you could choose who to put back out,
I'd put Jace back out.
Yeah.
Purely because I think it was a little unfair. He had an equipment malfunction, which he blamed on me because they were my pads, which I wore, and they seemed to stay on my legs. But given his legs are like toothpicks, no amount of Velcro was going to stick it to those chicken-type legs. Almost like a crayfish, isn't he, the body shape of Jason Hoyt?
You can always put a loaf of bread or something down behind your calves. You know, when you put your pads on, that's an old trick for people with little spindly legs.
I think the other problem was with Jace is there's so much nicorette coming out of his paws that oftentimes the pads lose their stick.
Yeah, and they
the
get
Velcro.
greasy. Yeah.
This one's a big old full toss. It's served up. Chucky.
Is that a no ball? That looks marginally close to a no ball. Not called. Good for the inform in Hensel maybe to bring up his 50 here.
Just mistimes that cut shot.
He must be a little weird going off for a few overs, coming back on again.
Yep. Got to get your eye back in, Leha. You know, like yourself, you got to focus. You got to refocus.
Yeah,
again.
I wish I could have gone off actually for a little bit just before my LB, and then come back on again.
Well, you were in a hell of a hurry, Leha. You got rushed. You got out of a taxi. You were putting pads on in a hell of a rush. The FPOS machine didn't work in the taxi.
No, that's right.
So there's another 2-minute delay.
I had one pad on in the taxi, and I was driving it.
Those self-drive taxis.
I had to drop the last 2 people off
at
the airport.
It was actually your Uber.
Yeah.
Looks like Scubby's on.
The Rabbi into bowl, into Heath. Oh, Cozzy just needs to feed the strike to the inform in Hensel here. He's saying he's going to put it into the bank, which would be good for the ACC. We need at least 120, 130, maybe just bat out the next 3. The Rabbi, he works that round the corner shot. Beautifully.
Good shot. He's off strike, which is what he needs to do.
I think, what does he do here, Lee Hart? Does the inform in Hensel just try and hit boundaries here and work the single off the last ball and try and protect Matt Heath?
I think he does. He has to. I mean, we need the runs for one. Secondly, Matt can't run.
Comes the Rabbi. Oh, that one came back off the pitch a little bit. And they've taken the single, which is early in the over. Jeremy Wells, I don't think I would have taken that single.
Now, it brings Heath on strike, and I think he's due. He's 3 off 10 at the moment. He's got his iron now. I think he'll get the pace of this pitch. And I think Rabbi better be careful here.
That's wide down the leg side. Not called, which is... Hope he's consistent on the wides. That's all I'm going to say.
That's not a lot wider than the one that got me an LB, but...
Let's have a look at
that. I don't want to.
Can we just have another look? We should have another look at that LB.
Yeah,
it felt like...
I don't think it was that widely, the LB. Then in comes the Rabbi to Heath. It's a full toss. It's a mid-wicket where Ribsy...
Yeah, if we had a review, I certainly would have asked for it.
Would you have taken that upstairs, would you?
Yeah. And if the review said no, I'd use our second review to try and overpower their review.
Heath is just creeping across the stumps here. This is short. He's pulled it away. His runs down there.
Well, they need to. They need to, because otherwise he's going to get the strike again, or the inform in Hensel just needs a single off the last ball. Doing it in 1s and 2s at the moment. No, that was the last ball. Disappointing.
Yeah, that's a word that you could use quite clearly to sum up the whole innings from the ACC 11.
And I can't stress how supportive it is when you're out there as a batsman to hear your own teammates commentating on your form while you're batting.
Yeah, I got called overweight when I was out there by Jason.
Same.
Yeah. Oh, well, good. Great leave.
Yeah, that was a beautiful leave.
Great leave.
Smart move.
From Heath.
Speaking of overweight, Heath at the moment, Matt Heath, heavier than he's ever been. I believe he was 92.7 kgs.
But he lost 7 kgs in 2 days.
I think he's put about 4 or 5 back on again. Oh, he's gone.
Wow, that's beautifully worked around the corner.
Lovely. Lovely. That's his favourite area down there. Just using the pace of the ball. Hobbling down the pitch for a single. It is gutsy.
No, it's good. It's a gutsy.
It's gutsy watching him.
It's reminiscent of Ross Taylor, Dunedin versus England. Hobbling around, won the game for New Zealand. As the inform in Hensel drives this back to Axel Foley, who's done some great work on the boundary. Is Axel Foley, the hero of the Rebels team last year.
Well, it's a useful line and length, that. Hard to get away, and they've stacked that offside field. Interestingly, at the moment, they can have 5 fielders outside the circle. They've chosen to have 4. Hensel again gives himself a bit of room, but he can't beat the bowler.
He's looking frustrated, isn't he? Since he's been back out there, hasn't quite got his timing. And
yeah, well, he's just one over to go after this. There you go. He's got hold of that, but it's straight to the fielder. Oh, straight through. Is that 6? The Rabbi.
That was interesting. Let's have another. It was 6. Great shot. Right out of the screws from Hensel. But let's have another look at that, because Rabbi came in off his boundary very, very quickly. It was almost like he overran the catch, and then it blasted through his hands. It was hit beautifully from Hensel. And Rabbi was running in, and
so wristy, wasn't it, from the inform in Hensel?
In the end, it almost looked like the Rabbi was ducking underneath it.
So 2 away from his 50 for Ian Hensel. Just 7 deliveries left in the match. What a lovely little count.
Yeah, they've fielded pretty well, have the Spartans.
Taking some good catches.
Mainly by Kyle Mills.
Into the over, just 6 balls remaining now. What can they post here at the ACC 11? 125 for 9.
135 would be good, wouldn't it?
Let's have another look at that drop catch.
Oh. I have now a look at that. That dangerously looked like 4. But
the rabbi just almost wanted to get out of the way of that. He wished, as the ball was hit, I know the feeling, he wished that he wasn't there.
So it's going to be, is this Ribsy? Ribsy to bowl the last over to Matt Heath, who's really anchored this partnership, hobbling around. He's really covering his stumps. He should probably take centre. Oh, good work from Matt Heath, just working the single.
Smart cricket from Heath. Smart cricket.
Also looks like he may have shat himself.
A lot of fat shaming, a lot of shaming in general going on from the commentary team and the teammates, but you get that now. It's all part of it.
What can Hensel do here with 5 balls remaining? This has been cut, but he can't time it.
Oh, look, I would take 126, Jeremy, given the strife we were in earlier. We were 7 down for about 70.
And given the attack that the ACC has, that's defendable.
Absolutely. We're a bowling unit.
This one's been whipped away by Hensel. And it'll be fielded in the deep as Heath hobbles down to the striker's end. I'm inspired by watching this innings of Matt Heath. 6 off 15. What can he do here? Oh, this has gone high in the air, and that'll be the end of Heath. Top edge. And that is the end of the ACC innings as it farts to a close. And the final over.
Yeah, if you told me that Matt Heath would be out of his wheelchair today, I wouldn't have believed you.
Yeah, it was a heroic effort from Matt Heath on 1.5 legs. 6 off 16, but he took the ACC to the final over, which was important. We wanted to bat out the overs, and we almost did it. Whereas he just looked to work it round the corner again to his favourite spot, and it just spooned up into the air. And well taken by Robbo. Gave him a serve too, which was good. So we'll be back in approximately 10 minutes. Quick change of innings. I think, fellas, we have to go out there and roll the arm over.
Good God.
I think Matt Heath will be coming here to take over the commentator. Can't see him taking the field. May need a bit of an ice bath, and he'll be bringing you the second innings here live from the Bay Oval. It's the Tradies.
Those dirty, filthy, cheating Australians doing Cleaver and Paul Ford. How many times do we have to put up with
Is it too much to ask for the referee to enforce a good 10 metres? Do we need to give the referee a ruler? Even a tape measure? A tape measure is probably a bit wobbly. So, I mean, it's...
Oh my God! Yeah, boy! Oh my God!
Unbelievable! Colin de Bono, unbelievable! Now he's going to deliver for New Zealand when he has to. He stands up again. Australia, suck it! Suck it!
Japan is the best defender.
Woo! No! D-Lane! This is McConey Road Studios. I'm working!
Chasing the blues away.
She's a daily, right? Ridiculous. Be doing that into a trophy. No, because it's my way. Right. Here we go. Sorry about that. I got a little waylaid.
Hey, you don't have a low carb option, do you?
I do actually.
Right here.
There you go.
Beautiful. Cheers it up there.
The Alternative Commentary Collective, the home of sports entertainment. Now brought to you by the beer for here, Export Gold.
Take on anything with Dulux Wash and Wear, Australia's most washable paint.
New Zealand's original cricket podcast, the BYC. Jason Hoyt and NZ's premier sports journalists Paul Ford and Dylan Cleaver. Search BYC on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcast. The Alternative Commentary Collective is New Zealand's home for sports entertainment, live commentary, podcasts, events and sport watch-alongs. It's sport, just more. New Zealand's leading sports podcast is the Alternative Commentary Collective's Agenda. James McConey, G. Lane and Matt Heath go where no other sports broadcasters are prepared to go. The Agenda on
Dulux and the Department of Conservation have partnered to protect the iconic dock huts with Dulux Weather Shield so they can take on New Zealand's extreme weather.
The Alternative Commentary Collective is proud to bring you the Higher Pool New Zealand Boat Ramp Champs. Coming soon.
Those dirty, filthy, cheating Australians, Dylan Cleaver and Paul Ford. How many times do we have to put up with
Is it too much to ask for the referee to enforce a good 10 metres? Do we need to give the referee a ruler? Even a tape measure? A tape measure is probably a bit wobbly. So, I mean, it's...
Oh my God! Unbelievable! Collins gone home. Unbelievable! Now he's going to deliver for New Zealand when he has to. He steps up again. Australia! Suck it! Suck it! Japan is the best. defender. Woo! No! D-Lane! This is McConey Road Studios. I'm working. Chasing the blues away.
She's a danger, right? Ridiculous. She'd be doing that into a trophy. No, because it's my way. Look. Here we go. Sorry about that. I got a little waylaid.
Hey, you don't have a low carb option, do you?
I do actually.
Right here.
There you go. Beautiful. Here's your buffalo.
The Alternative Commentary Collective, the home of sports entertainment, now brought to you by the beer for here, Export Gold.
Take on anything with Dulux Wash and Wear, Australia's most washable paint.
New Zealand's original cricket podcast, the BYC. Jason Hoyt and NZ's premier sports journalists Paul Ford and Dylan Cleaver. Search BYC on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcast. The Alternative Commentary Collective is New Zealand's home for sports entertainment, live commentary, podcasts, events and sport watch-alongs. It's sport, just more. New Zealand's leading sports podcast is the Alternative Commentary Collective's Agenda. James McConey, G. Lane and Matt Heath go where no other sports broadcasters are prepared to go. The Agenda on
Dulux and the Department of Conservation have partnered to protect the iconic dock huts with Dulux Weather Shield, so they can take on New Zealand's extreme weather.
The Alternative Commentary Collective is proud to bring you the Higher Pool New Zealand Boat Ramp Champs. Coming soon.
Welcome back to the Bay Oval on an absolutely stunning day here in the Bay of Plenty. For this scintillating fixture between the ACC 11 and the Dulux Spartans 11. The ACC posting 127, you described that as an ugly score. The heroics of Matt Heath at the end there. Wasn't scoring at a great clip, but he just kept them in there, feeding the strike to the more established batsman. He's gone off injured, and there are going to be replacement fields, and then in there, just getting my breath back here after having to punish my way right around the ground to get up here into the commentary box. Target 128 here at the Bay Oval. Broadhead and Stevens to open the batting. The ACC will feel like they got out of jail here. They were looking all at sea earlier in the game, but they've fought their way back to a defendable target. They're going to have to bowl tight and field tight, and early wickets are the key for the ACC 11. Now I've had a look at the ACC's attack.
Do we want it?
And there's no way to sugarcoat it.
Oh yeah, I'll go grab it.
It's mid.
That's fine.
A lot of nude leggies will be bowled today. And we'll be helped in the commentary with a new innovation, which is the square leg commentator playing and commentating throughout the game. Do we have our square leg commentator on? No, not yet, but we'll get to that as soon as we can. Opening the bowling for the ACC will be, just a second, getting my breath back here after that heroic innings that I just completed, and it looks like the nut is about to be thrown too. Paul Stewart Ford will be taking up the commentary from out on the foil. It's quite an innovation, this, because he commentates with a mic in hand, which means it's one-handed fielding and catching for Paul Stewart Ford. It looks like ACC head G Lane will be opening the bowling. He's in charge of the whole organisation here, and he's been handed the ball, and he's looking to make a statement in this first over. He's an aggressive medium pacer, is Mike Lane.
Might just bring myself in there, Matt. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Lee. So you've taken the fielding position with the microphone?
Yeah, that's right, here at square leg. I'm not sure what hand to hold the microphone in case I have a catch.
Here comes Mike Lane. And unconvincing, it was a good bowl. Just an outside edge, and they scampered through for a single. Bit of aggro in the middle of the field there. G Lane dropped the shoulder.
Well, there's a lot of scoreboard pressure there for the Dulux 11. They've got to chase down 130 odd. I've never commentated on the field before.
Yeah, so what hand? I mean, you're obviously a right-hander, Lee Hart, looking to catch the ball with your right hand. So I suggest the microphone in the left hand.
I may just drop the microphone. Certainly going to give me an excuse when I stuff it up.
Lane to Broadhead. Oh, big swing and a miss. G Lane will be encouraged by that. He's a cancer survivor, so he goes for a few. He's got a decent excuse, but he'll be very, very happy with that delivery there. Signs of movement. Here he comes again, just turn around straight in. Oh! Slower delivery from G Lane then. Lucky to get away with the wide call there, but there's been pretty consistent across the game. Lee Hart, what's the feeling amongst the team?
Good question, Matt.
Oh.
The feeling is we're confident down here. We've got a score on the board. We can defend that.
Yeah, you've got to have a score on the board to defend it, even if it's 1 or 2 runs. You can't defend 0. The best you can hope for if you get no runs is a draw.
And we know the value of early wickets. Ooh. It's a good over from Lane.
Yeah, he's looking good, Lane. He's fired up, actually. He's a competitive spirit. He'd be disappointed with his innings.
Well, very few people wouldn't be. Whoop!
Oh!
Just about an incredible catch there from Mr. Cleaver.
Yeah. I wasn't watching actually at that point. I'm not normally do the ball by ball, and I just sort of zoned out and started watching something out. Can you talk me through what happened there, Lee? Oh, here comes the Lane into bowl. It's full, outside edge, and just, he got one hand to Dylan Cleaver, one of New Zealand's greatest sports writers. Fantastic bounce column, but didn't quite get up there to get it. He'll be disappointed with that.
Well, he'll be able to write about that on Monday morning.
He'll really rip into himself about that one on Monday morning.
Jason Hoyt coming into bowl. Big call this stage of the match.
Yeah, Hoyt, he gets good revolutions. He gets good purchase off the wicket. He'll be looking to trouble Ribsy here.
Okay, I've moved position, which makes me a little nervous.
Hoyt looking to redeem himself after his pad getting wrapped around his leg and him being run out, and he doesn't do that as he gets absolutely smoked to the boundary for 4 by Ribsy. He jumped on that immediately. Got a lot of bat on it.
I might just put the mic down for a moment.
Okay. And Hoyt to Ribsy. That's better from Hoyt, although arguably a wide. 7 for none, the Spartans. Hoyt to Ribsy. That's fuller. That's better from Hoyt, just the single. So I just scrambled to find a .401. Hoyt coming around the wicket to Dingo. Oh, beautiful from Hoyt. Just nipped back a little bit. It's a good length for him. He's hitting good areas in the second half of this over. He'd love to get a wicket here, boy. He'd love to get a wicket for him. Make up for that run out with the stupid pad duck-like incident. Just works it round the corner for a single.
That's a beauty.
One to come from Hoyt. Hoyt to Ribsy. 9 for none. Oh, catch him! Just the single. 7 from the over. Run rate required, 6.5. They're going at 5 at the moment. It's a niggly score. You're 128, wouldn't you say, Lee Hart?
Yeah, very niggly, Matt. But look, it's early days. We're just going to see what's going to happen here. Jerry's he's spreading the bowling round early, which is good. We don't let them get settled. and try and get those elusive early wickets.
Yeah, early wickets is the key, absolutely, Lee Hart. If we could get 10 of them early before they get to 128, we can win this game.
We certainly could, and that's the goal.
They require 118 runs, the Dulux Spartans.
And a lot of bowlers here, they've got a lot to prove. They had pretty much, by and large, shockers with the bat.
Can Ribsy deal with the pace of Ben Hurley? The Hurley-burley of Ben Hurley.
Can Ben Hurley deal with the pace of Ben Hurley? I'm okay here, Jerry.
Where exactly are you, Lee Hart?
I'm not sure what it's called.
That's a good start for Ben Hurley, bustling through the Hurley-burley of Ben Hurley, they call it. He's a keen cricketer. Great beard.
Jeremy Wells setting a more aggressive field for Ben Hurley.
He'll be looking for the outside edge here from Ribsy. Oh, full. And smoke to the boundary for 4. Ribsy was
and that's a good shot.
Yeah, that is a good shot. Ribsy will be expecting the chin music there. Ben Hurley's not the kind of bowler that lets a rank full toss get smashed for 4 and go unpunished. It's fuller this time, and Ribsy just works it away for the single. Anything happening out there on the field that you need to tell me about, Lee?
Well, yeah, just adjusting for the left-hander. It's still aggressive field. Jerry's set here for Ben.
It's a little bit sneaky of the Spartans to throw a left-hander out there. It confuses us. It's making fielders have to move around when they can't really be bothered. As Ben Hurley
Australian-like
bustles in. It's
wide.
It's wide and it's called a wide. It's important that Ben Hurley doesn't get the bottom lip out here. He knows he's got the skills.
It's hard not to bowl the old wide when you haven't bowled for 3 or 4 years.
Ben Hurley bustles in. It's full and outside off stump. It's better from Ben Hurley. Very difficult to score off those wide full Yorkers. And there's a dog near the field.
Certainly is. Couldn't tell you what breed that is, Matt, but it certainly is a dog.
Some kind of poodle. Full and down leg side from Ben Hurley. 16 for none, the Spartans. ACC looking for early wickets. You seen any early wickets out there, Lee Hart?
Sorry, Matt, just had the microphone on the ground.
That dog, if you're wondering, that wandered near the field. The dog's name's Nelly. Still not sure what breed it was, but the dog near the field was Nelly. So, Spartans 16 for none in the third. Run rate required 6.5.
I might sing a couple of numbers at some point, Matt.
Yeah.
If you can find the right backing tracks for me.
I've got, I can a cappella you. Just trying to think. Dun, 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 dun.
Bit challenging.
Yeah, too challenging? Yeah. Any idea who's bowling next? Just looking at the back of his shirt here. You know, I know everyone in the team pretty well, but I've only got the back of the shirt here.
Just moved my position here, Matt.
Where are you now?
It's ominous.
Oh, it's a bit short and smoked. And is that Logan Payne there? Logan Payne, he's got a great arm. He won't be happy with that. He prides himself on his fielding and his drinking.
I tell you what, Matt, I'm looking right into the sun. Just preempting that.
Hensel. Ooh. Deceives Ribsy there, just gets an inside edge on it. No run. The ACC will be reasonably happy with the start. No wickets yet, but restricting the Spartans. So say that the ball is absolutely smoked for 6 and can't help but feel.
Yeah, went right over there, Paul. That's an example there of Paul Ford looking right into the sun.
Yeah.
He couldn't see. This way, Paul. To your right.
He would have needed some kind of cherry picker to get that. Hensel there just dropped it a bit short.
It's a big hit.
Never done the ball-by-ball commentary on there. I've sort of been thrown into this, and you know, any help you can give me down there, Lee Hart, or if you could send Ian Smith up here, or Brian Waddle. That would be
What's
really
that,
helpful. Mate? Anything you see down, any colour you can bring, anything at all you can bring here. I'm just sort of hanging out like an old man's nappy up here in the commentary box. Sort of
sorry about that, mate. I'm just in the middle of a cricket match, if you know what I mean.
You know, I get that, but you know, look, if you could do sort of 90% commentary, 10% cricket, I'd appreciate that. As Hensel comes into bowl.
Okay.
It's high.
Well, there you go.
It's full. And
one bounce 4.
He's taking a bit of
just kind of crapping myself, Matt, that a ball's going to come my way.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking to you on a microphone.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out exactly where you are. Oh, there you are. Yep. Okay, you're there in the mid-on there. Quite a busy place to be with a microphone.
It certainly is. Should be a lapel mic.
Hensel to Ribsy. And he absolutely smokes that one for 4. I think one bounce for 4 there. So 2, 0, 6, 4 no balls. Nick Hensel, we're looking to tighten things up as he finishes off this over. Ribsy's rated 29 off 15. It's better from Nick Hensel. That's some good areas there. Beautiful bowling. Run rate's going to 8.6. ACC is going to have to rein.
What's the run rate, Matt?
8.6, Lee. Yes, he brought it back at the end of the over. Just the single there. Plays it through the covers for a single. And beautiful fielding from Logan Payne. Making up for that absolute cock-up he had before. No offence, mate. Still a great New Zealander. So what is Captain Jeremy Wells going to do here to turn off the tap of the runs for the Spartans? We desperately need wickets. It looks like he's thrown the nut to Finn Caddy, and here comes ACC head G Lane. Can you hear me, G Lane? He's taking the mic from Lee Hart.
Yeah, look, it's difficult conditions out here, looking straight into the sun.
Where are you fielding? I can't sort of find you out there on the field.
Just in front of the stand, Matt Heath.
Here comes Finn Caddy into bowl.
Oh, he's disappointingly for me, Matt Heath. It's Ribsy's area out here, so
yeah, well, that's a
big chase though for Logan. Doesn't quite get that, so 4 more to Ribsy. He's really seeing it, Ribsy. Yeah. But he looks dangerously knackered.
Yeah, well,
he's dangerously unfit, we know that.
Ribsy had a big night last night, and right now the temples are pounding. He doesn't know what Finn, the young man, is going to bowl here. Oh, that's a beautiful delivery from Finn. He's finding his areas. I mean, first delivery was a horrific full toss that got smacked for 4, but he's now finding his areas. He's straight in. No messing around from Finn Caddy. Oh, beautiful delivery, Spence. That'll be concerning for the Spartans.
Look, if anyone's got a defibrillator, to bring it to the field. Ribsy looks like he's struggling a little bit.
Did you see that Finn Caddy was getting some swing there? Bowls beautiful induckers. Good looking man too. Great ass.
Didn't see him in the batting lineup, but that doesn't really matter, does it?
Well, after my heroics, I've taken a break. It's Caddy to Dingo. Oh, beautiful from Finn Caddy. There's nothing you can do with a delivery like that. There's nothing at all you can do. You just have to stand there and admire it. Caddy to Dingo.
Oh, disappointingly, it's coming out to me.
Okay, so you're going to have to field that with one hand. Oh, beautifully fielded by commentator / fielder. So that's what you are.
Commentator / fielder.
Commentator slashing on the field / fielder. You're right on the boundary there, G-Lane. You've got permission to drop the mic if you need to.
Well, I'm right in Ribsy's wheelhouse, actually.
No, that's beautiful. We really brought that back, did Finn Caddy. Just the 6 off it. Who would you bring in to bowl next if you were Captain Jeremy Wells?
Lee Hart. He's a wicket taker, Lee Hart.
He's got 3 international wickets, has he? He's got the wicket of Guppy. He's got the wicket of the hairy Jav. Is it just the 2 international wickets he's got?
I think he got Tendulkar in a game in Mumbai.
He did, that's correct, yeah. You never know what you're going to get from Lee Hart. It could be a beamer. It could be a wide. It could be a short delivery. It could be the best bowl you've ever seen in your life. And that's really how he operates. It's frightening. There's no way to decipher what you're going to get.
His head is so shiny. I can see myself in it.
So it looks like Hart will be bowling his usual medium pace. Extremely heavy ball.
Look, he's a difficult man to get away, like you said. You don't know what's coming. Dingo probably should have been wearing a helmet here because he's going to get it right between the eyes.
Dingo needs to be
on
aware
the full
that Lee Hart has gotten the wicket of Martin Guptill on more than one occasion. Just hopefully it's not in his head too much right now. That Lee Hart has got international wickets.
I think more in Dingo's head is the glare coming off Lee Hart right now.
Anything could happen here. Anything at all could happen. It's Hart to Dingo.
Oh, it's a bit of loosener there for Lee Hart.
Yeah.
That's all right.
No, that's right. It's all the part of it. He zeroes in. There'll be a wide, then there'll be a beamer, then there'll be a short delivery. And then he'll roll an ankle, and the next one will take out middle stump. Hart to Dingo. Hart ambles in. Oh, that's a beautiful delivery. Straight and full, and there's absolutely nothing Dingo could do with that.
Listen, Matt Heath, look, people are here to be entertained. This is getting a bit boring, so it's great to sledge with a microphone. So we'd like to see maybe a boundary, have a go at something. Give the crowd what they want.
It's exactly what we expected and exactly what he wanted from Lee Hart. It's what his captain asked from him. Wide, die, wide. Beamer.
This one's going to be caught. Caddy in the gully, bowled Hart. It's going to skew it off the back. Comfortably taken by Caddy in the gully.
Hart to Dingo. Beamer. Beautifully fielded.
Almost
outfield by Paul Stewart Ford, I believe.
Almost fell into the trap though. Harsh call on the no ball. He should have actually hit it for 6. So the batsman should get punished, not the bowler there.
It's exactly what we wanted from Lee Hart. Wide, dot, wide. 1 run, no ball.
Oh no, the Harbour Bridge from Logan Payne. Logan Peter Payne with the Harbour Bridge, and that'll race away to the mid-off boundary for 4. Starting to open up a bit, Ribsy. What's Ribsy on? He's almost on 40. He's almost ready to retire. He's going to have to hit this for 6. Don't play a single for your average, Ribsy. You're better than that.
Yeah, Ribsy 39 from 22. Logan Payne won't be happy with that. He prides himself on his fielding. He will not be happy with that.
Did you just about vomit then?
Yeah, there was a little bit came up. Hart to Ribsy. drops it in short. And that is smoked for 6. He got hold of that early, did Ribsy, just advanced on it and swung the bat at it, and he's retired. Excellent innings from Ribsy, 50 runs. He really took to the ACC bowling.
He did exactly what I asked him to do. Didn't muck around with the singles. Went for the 6, but he's going to have to jump in an ice bath, because if he's going to play another game, he's going to seize up quickly.
45 of 23, hell of an innings from Ribsy.
We don't need water.
Yeah, the Spartan 11 going at 9.8 at the moment. Run rate required 5. We need wickets, G-Lane. We need wickets. How are we going to get them?
Yeah, new batsman at the crease, though. So, look, we need a bit of scoreboard pressure here, like another couple of wickets, and we just need to squeeze them on the run rate, Matt Heath. Put a little bit of pressure on the lower order. Glad to see the back of Ribsy. But it's Razor Ray, so Razor Ray. He's going out to the middle.
Yeah, Razor Ray. Hey, G-Lane, when would you say early wickets have not occurred? We're in the 6th over. It's 54 for none. Are early wickets off the table now?
Yeah, look, at the end of this over, it's the end of the power play, so we can probably say that early wickets are off the cards. We're probably looking for mid-wickets.
Razor Ray will be looking to close the eyes and just slash across the line and really just swing at the first ball. Anything else would be seen as cowardice.
That's right. I think the only person to defend a first ball was Jason Hoyt, and the cricketing gods paid revenge on him. Been run out a couple of balls.
What are we
later.
going to get from Lee Hart now? We've had all sorts in this over. We've had everything. What else is there left to bowl?
Oh, good.
That's beautiful.
That's a good delivery. And finishes well, doesn't he, Lee Hart? He was a little bit wayward there. He did say his last time he played was exactly 18 months ago.
Now we'll be looking for more in Lee Hart's second over. There was a wide, no ball for 6.
I'll tell you what, Matt. I'm looking at the scorecard, Matt Heath. God, Ribsy hogged the strike, didn't he? Broadhead has only faced 12 deliveries for his 4. He opened the batting with Ribsy, and Ribsy just hogged it the whole time. So, poor Dingo, he's out there. He's got a chance to actually face a few balls now.
Is that Paul Stewart-Ford? No, it's Paul Stewart-Ford to bowl, I believe.
It is Paul Stewart-Ford.
He is difficult to get away. He will challenge Dingo here.
We've got a streaker.
That's a beautiful delivery. Where's the streaker?
Oh, no, it's a small child.
Oh, it's a small child. Doesn't quite count as a streaker, but that was absolutely beautiful. He is not only New Zealand's top sports journalist, Paul Stewart-Ford, but that was an absolutely cracker delivery. He delivers what he writes about. I would be concerned here if I was Dingo.
Oh.
Paul Stewart-Ford to Dingo.
Oh, he's swinging a miss. But Razor Ray wasn't interested in the run. He was like, you stay there, mate. You need to face a few more balls after Ribsy hogged the strike for that. 6 overs. The power play's over, so Wells, as captain, can put 5 players outside the circle.
No one on the field that wants to be facing Paul Stewart-Ford now as he bowls.
Oh, good keeping, though, from Ian Dodson behind the stumps. No wide. You've got to collect those, Dingo. You've got to do what you've got to do when they're down the leg side.
He bowls it. It's not wide as he marches back to his mark. It's a good line, actually, for him. Wide as Paul Stewart-Ford steams in. Oh, that's beautiful delivery.
Oh, he's
played it away.
Up goes the hand from Ben Hurley to the sweeper. Out on the boundary. They'll come back
for 2. It's a bit of sloppy fielding there from the ACC.
Well, Ben Hurley did the classic, just throw the arm up and just signal to other players, I'm out. And if someone else could do my job, that would be great.
Dingo comes back from 2. He moves to 6 from 16. He really needs to put the foot down. The pressure is on Dingo here. Dot, 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 and then a 2, but it was pretty much a dot as Paul Stewart-Ford comes into bowl. That is beautiful. There's nothing you can do with that. Absolutely nothing you can do with a delivery like that.
This is what we need, Matt Heath, a bit of scoreboard pressure.
I don't care if you're Bradman. I don't care if you're Tendulkar. There's absolutely nothing you can do with what Paul Stewart-Ford is serving up at the moment.
Dingo's looking a bit like Aaron Finch, dangerously out of form.
He's just not timing the ball as Paul Stewart-Ford comes into bowl, and that's beautiful again. Absolutely nothing to do with that. Full right in the slot, great areas. 0, 0, 0, 2, dot, dot. The pressure is coming on the Spartans now at 56 for none.
Yeah, look,
in the 8th.
Yeah, that's right, Matt Heath. Look, we just need to get through some overs quickly here. The fielding restrictions are off, so we can put a few sweepers in, and it's Razor Ray. Jason Hoyt back into the attack. Interesting decision.
A good move from Captain Jeremy Wells. Jason Hoyt, he can really get some purchase off the wicket. He's a wily old companion. Don't get confused by that humiliating run out while he was batting.
Jeez. I hope a catch doesn't come near me, Matt Heath, because
it's Hoggle to Razor Ray. I mean, he's worked it away for a single there on the offside, but Jason Hoyt won't be too concerned about that.
No, that was
a lot of movement. It just absolutely fizzed off the wicket from Jason Hoyt there.
I'll tell you what,
he's capable of catching a ball, but it absolutely fizzed off the wicket, and pressure really goes on.
Well, Dingo's back on strike. I used the microphone there as a long barrier. Sorry about that, Dan.
Partnership 2 from 9. The pressure is piling on the Spartans. They have to go for it here or it's all over. It's time to just throw caution to the wind and take a massive swing as the Mahana man comes into bowl.
Oh, the reverse. What a waste of a shot, though. It's come straight to me.
Reverse sweep, and it's well fielded by G Lane in the field. Drop the mic. That's why you heard that big bang.
Sorry about that. I'll place it a bit.
Hoyt won't be too upset with that.
No, he won't. I think he's just going to...
Dot, dot, 2, dot, dot. This is a fantastic over from Hoyt. Pressure is really on the batsman here.
Oh, catch that. Catch that. No, that's in the gap. Just to the left of Lee Hart and Razor Ray. Showing Dingo how it's done, to be honest. Dingo's been farting around on the crease, scratching around like Aaron Finch out there.
Still good over there from Jason Hoyt. Interested to see who Jeremy Wells throws the nut to next.
We need
Looks
wickets.
like Jason Hoyt again, because the over isn't over. I was looking at a previous over there. That's 1-0-4. I was really talking up Jason Hoyt from some previous stats there, but oh, that is beautiful from Jason Hoyt.
Swing and a miss from Razor Ray.
Just a perfect length and line, and it just held up a little bit. It just straightened as it came through.
Matt Heath, do we get to the bottom of the huge pile of South American salt over there and why it doesn't melt in the rain?
Certainly trying to get to the bottom of that later, G-Lane. It's Hoyt to Razor Ray.
Oh, that's 4.
And that is absolutely smoked to the boundary for 4. Yes, got on that in a second, and there was no way Finn Caddy could get to that. Arguably our best fielder out there, Finn Caddy. He's in shorts, which is a little bit unprofessional. They will be fined for that after the game. What would you do if you were Captain Jeremy Wells?
Declare.
Declare, yeah. 66 for none in the 8th as Hoyt.
Oh, medium pace.
Hang on a minute.
Oh, that's gone. That is gone. That's a 6-er.
Yeah, 6-er. He changed it up.
Well, Hoyt, he went for the medium pace. He went for the hybrid. He should have stuck to the off spin.
Yeah, that's a
and
big
he paid
over.
the price. And Jason Hoyt, he's going to be red carded actually for that over. He's gone. He's out.
Well, you've got to say, our trying to bait the Spartans into hitting the ball has really backfired.
Yeah, look, it's
there's 1.4146.
Yeah, look, it's I mean, look, we've been known for innovating.
That's a 16-run over. Not since Matt Heath in the last game the ACC played as a bowler gone for that much. And it's disappointing for Heath actually when he went for 24 in the first over of.
So a round of applause for Jason Hoyt as he makes his way off the field. He's going to go get his groin put back together by the physio.
If he could just come and make it over here, it would be really helpful.
I think he's actually just dying for a dart.
Well, plenty of space in the commentary box for a dart. Is that Dylan Cleaver who's been throwing the ball?
Yep.
See if he can change the story that's playing out here at the Bay Oval in the Dulux Big Bay Bash. Right now, the ACC are getting Big Bay bashed.
You don't want to say Big Bay Bash over and over again.
Be careful how you say that.
Yeah. Also, the hashtag is...
Oh, that's absolutely beautiful from Dylan Cleaver. Just eased out for a single.
So Matt Heath, I don't know if you've done some social media and tried to do the hashtag Big Bay Bash.
Yeah, you've got to be careful.
You've got to be careful. The autocorrect, and next minute you're cancelled.
Yeah, 3 members of the team have been cancelled already, and our whole social media department. And look, they didn't mean it. And look, if the community can forgive us, then we'd appreciate that.
I'm picking who Razor Ray is going to come my way. So I'm going to put the mic down briefly.
Still in Cleaver, and it did go your way. Dylan Cleaver just dropped a bit short, and Razor Ray was on it in a second. He just leant back and smashed it over your head. G-Lane, you needed to put down the microphone and get yourself some kind of ladder and then climb that ladder, and then you may have had a chance of catching that ball. That was absolutely smoked by Razor Ray.
Yeah, Razor Ray, he's timing the shit out of it.
Yeah, just a little bit short from there, and there we go again. Just short of Finn Caddy. It's just a little bit too easy for the Spartans there, just easing it on the leg side there for a single. 80 for none in the 9th over.
Look, Dingo though, this is Aaron Finch like. He needs to get things going.
Dingo, 12 from 22. As Cleaver comes into bowl. That's a beautiful delivery. He appeals for nothing, and it's not given. Yeah, when you appeal for nothing, you tend to not get a wicket. It's Cleaver to Dingo. Oh, he takes the absolute swing, and it's sharp as an axe, and there's an appeal, and he's out, stumped.
Great work from Ian Dodson behind the stumps. He had the bails off in a flash. And the painful innings of Dingo, who scratched around for a number of balls, danced down the wicket, big miss, and great work. And a great ballsy decision from the square leg umpire.
Yeah, great decision there. Let's not look at it again. There's no...
the foot was in the air.
The foot was in the air. No, that's great work from...
You know what, Matt Heath? I wish you had more of that in the international game rather than going upstairs for
just back yourself. If you can't call it from square leg, then why are you even there?
Exactly.
Go home.
Might as well put a
that is
there.
Sharp.
Plays a lot of indoor cricket, does Ian Dodson, so he knows his way around.
Yeah, Ian Dodson will be dropping the gloves hopefully later on and having a bowl. But the Spartans lose their first wicket, 80 for 1. You couldn't call that early wickets, but are the ACC back in this game? Run rate required currently 4.3 G-Lane. They're going at 9.
Yeah, look, new batsman though. A bit of pressure for Santos. He's the one man in the team that looks like the only man in the team that goes to the gym.
He's got a rockin' bod, has Santos. But that will not concern Dylan Cleaver as he comes into bowl, and he's full.
He's got the free hit. He's got the free hit. Great work from Lee Hart. He got the body behind that, did Lee Hart, and he got all of the West Coast behind that, and it got him right in the tit.
Right in the tit.
And that was the freebie for Santos. Didn't get hold of it, but it's the end of the over, and they're going to swap ends, and Razor Ray will be on strike.
Facing Dylan Payne, and I don't know much about this young man, Logan Payne. What does Logan Payne bowl? He's skinny as a whip.
Yeah,
and he was drinking heavily before he came on the field.
Yeah, he comes in, he bowls a few autumn leaves. Certainly got the height on his side. He's almost like a retarded Bruce Reid.
There's a couple of rockin' bods at that end of the wicket with Logan Payne and Santos. Oh, that's beautiful.
Catch that.
It just splits the field. Just got on that early for Logan Payne. He might need to tighten up just a little bit. Probably should have had one less beer before he came out, potentially, judging by a couple of fielding errors and then being absolutely smoked then.
He's a big fan of the acid test, is Logan Payne, where the entire field surround the batsman.
Yeah, the umbrella field is what he normally goes for.
Yeah, the acid test. Swing and a miss from Razor Ray. He's got one shot, and I feel like it's coming my way.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. You could probably put the entire field over where you are, Mike Lane. He's just going to swing away.
Okay, now.
It's Payne to Razor. A big swing. Unlucky for Logan Payne. Yeah. There'd been a slip there. That would have been stopped.
That is unlucky for Logan Peter Payne.
And unlucky for Ben Hurley, who had to run all the way to get the ball.
Yeah, he couldn't put his hand up, could he, and just signal that I can't be asked, someone else do it. He had to do it himself, unfortunately, Ben Hurley. So making easy work of this. It's not looking good. And as Logan Peter Payne goes back to the top of his mark, and I think Razor Ray is going to have another go at this.
26 from 11. And it's in the air, and it's over the boundary for 6. He absolutely smoked it back over Logan Payne's head. 4.46. He's going to have to tighten up for his last 2 deliveries, Logan Payne. He'll be disappointed with this, but in his defence, he did have 17 hazies before he came out. Payne to Razor Ray. What can Payne do here to change the script? Massive, and he's got him! That's an egg!
Oh.
It's a big top edge, and
What a
he's brought
catch.
it back, and the Spartans lose their 2nd wicket. Redemption for Logan Payne, 4.046 and a wicket.
What a catch from Ian Dodson again behind the stumps. He's looking sharp as attack behind there. Look at this. He's standing up to Logan Peter Payne. Logan Peter Payne, awkward action and standing up. What a catch from Ian Dodson, and what an innings though from Razor Ray. He was on debut for this match, was Razor Ray, and out comes Kyle Mills.
Are we seeing a collapse from the Dulux Spartan 11?
Certainly into the tail.
With Carl Mills coming out, we're deep into the tail. He got absolutely smoked, Carl Mills, and he'll be feeling a little bit ginger as he comes out. Absolutely smoked by Jeremy Wells.
And Paul Ford.
And Paul Ford, yeah.
He did get the valuable wicket of Paul Ford. You know, he's a prize scalp, is Paul Ford.
If I was captain Jeremy Wells, I would put myself into bowl, because you're inside Millsy's head.
Yeah, that's right. That's Wells's day. You're right, Matt Heath. He should bring himself on next just to maybe just get in there. But he hits a big ball, does Kyle Mills. He's a big unit. Went out a few beers with him last night, and he certainly sticks out like a sore thumb.
I've been looking out for this, looking forward to this matchup all day. G Lane, Logan Payne to Carl Mills.
He's got a free hit, so
it's going to be interesting to see what he does with the free hit. It's going to be a big swing here from the big fast bowler.
He's a big giant Dougie Howlett, isn't he?
Payne to Mills. He mistimes it out to, is that you? No.
No, that's Chucky Hensel, but it's very hard to see what the F is going on with the sun. I thought it was coming my way for a second.
So did I.
And Chucky Hensel, he had no idea who it was, but that's the free hit. He's going to maintain the strike, and I think Wells may be bringing himself out on.
Yeah, so he's inside Carl Mills' head. Wells absolutely smoked him. And as an international player, you don't want to be smoked for 3 fours and an over by some mamby-pamby media 7 sharp Matt and Jerry breakfast host, do you?
Yeah.
And that gets inside your head, and you start thinking, I need to make a statement here. I need to have a big swing. I need to assert my dominance here. I need to do something stupid. I'm looking to get a top edge here.
You're right, Matt Heath. He's living rent-free in Kyle Mills' head right now. So is that native lice, that native crab living in that hair of Kyle Mills's.
It's pube like his head, isn't it? Those hairs is Wells to Mills. He mistimes it. Out to the cover fieldsman, no run.
Well, this would be one for the books if he can take his wicket as well.
If Wells could get. Here he goes. He just floats it up. Beautiful delivery.
Yeah, nervous. It was a nervous defensive shot from Kyle Mills. You've got to admit, he thought about sending it my way, but in the end just poked it to Logan Peter Payne there.
He just changed of pace there from Wells. It's Wells to Mills. Just drops it in short. And
that's a good shot. That is a well-timed shot, and ran around it, did Paul Stewart Ford, and he'll just get it inside the boundary, and they'll canter back for 2, but well-timed from Kyle Mills.
Just 2 there.
Just lulling into a false sense of security here, Matt Heath, I think. And
was that the replay I was watching? Paul Stewart Ford seemed to be running after that in slow motion. Wells to Kyle Mills. And he drops it in short, and he gets absolutely smoked. On the leg side for 4.
This is a bit of revenge here for Kyle Mills and Wells. No words spoken, just a nod of "you suck."
He just dropped it a little bit short. Did the 7 sharp host? That's better.
Oh, it's a nice little paddle around the corner to Finn Caddy. Just a single. He's going to feed the strike to the dangerously good-looking Santos.
He's a good-looking man, is Santos.
Yeah.
Actually, you've got a few hotties out there. Carl Mills.
Yeah, well,
Jeremy's no slouch. You've got Santos there.
Also, you've got... Rumour has it that Santos shaves his arms.
Well, he's none off one, so the pressure is on him to hit Wells here. And Wells will be looking to, as captain, to end the over. With a wicket. He's taking a lot of time setting up his field.
He's bringing Logan Peter Payne in close as a catching.
Wells.
It's a bit of pressure.
Just ambles in. And he
won't
be happy with that. I mean, he will be happy with that. He's just tempting, and he wanted him to go out to the lead. That was very calculated from Wells. He knows that we've got some skills behind the stumps, and there was always an opportunity to go out and have a big Hoyt at that, get the top edge and get caught behind the stump. So calculated by Wells. It may have looked like a horrific dibbly-dobbly wide, actually calculated by Wells.
Look, I'm just going to have to say, Matt Heath, only pussies leave deliveries in this game. So I don't expect any more leaves from Santos.
Are they sending any help over to the commentary booth yet? I mean, I've only got someone coming in and then something happens. I haven't even done the ball-by-ball before, so it'd be good if Jason Hoyt could make his way over. I notice he's not on the field anymore.
No, I think that Jason Hoyt is off to do the big show on Radio
Here we
Hauraki.
go. It's the big caboose of Joe Jury. He batted fantastically. What can he do here with that big ass? Pitch that's beautiful delivery. Mistimes it out on the onside. Carl Mills will be intimidated here by that massive ice hockey ass of Joe Jury.
Well, every fast
Joe
bowler
Jury just turns around, comes in straight away, drops it in short, mistimes it again. That's dot for Joe Jury. Bowling very well indeed.
All the greatest fast bowlers, Matt Heath, have big cabooses. Mark Gillespie.
And the big caboose just steams in, right arm over. And
that's good cricket. There's good cricket from Kyle Mills. Great fielding too down there by Finn
just
Caddy.
Played around the corner, reminiscent of Matt Heath and his innings, just working that area of the field.
A little bit more elegant than your innings, Matt, I must admit, but effective all the same.
9 from 9, Carl Mills, as Durry to Santos, mistimes it.
Wow, look, it'll be disappointing if the Spartans go about this. If they go about this this victory in 1s and 2s, I'll be disappointed, Matt Heath. I think.
Well, surely the boring chant can sort of be brought up. I can't. I'm miles away. But are we hearing boring, boring? Joe Jury steams in with that massive ass. Mills jumps on it and makes it less boring by absolutely smoking Joe Jury over your head for 6, G Lane. And I've got to say, every time we taunt the Spartans into trying to do something rash, they teach us a lesson by getting on it quickly and absolutely thwacking the bejesus out of it. Yeah, he timed that beautifully.
It's a small boundary.
Durry to Mills. Just plays it out in a cowardly fashion. Square. Finn Caddy does a pretty cool little flick up of the ball with his foot. But 111 for 2. Got to say, things are looking a bit... You got to say advantage the Dulux Spartans at this point. They require 17 runs of 48 balls. And in T20, that is very gettable. But you'd hate to see them just fart it out, wouldn't you?
Well, I'm going to have to pass on the commentary duties to Jeremy Wells. Unless I try and commentate while bowling.
Well, at 17 runs needed off 48 balls, probably need both hands. Because you'll be looking to get 8 wickets in this over if you could. G Lane.
Just taking over here, Matt Heath.
Great
now, I don't know what it looks like from up there, but down here, we feel like we're in the box seat. We feel like we've got it under control. And I think Kyle Mills, former international player, is sweating in his oversized boots right now.
What do we have to do to get 8 wickets before they get 17 runs? You know what we have to do? We have to bring G Lane into the attack, and he's steaming in. The cancer survivor. A beautiful delivery. Just angles it in. on the international. And finally, a bit of spirit from the ACC. He shies it in an unsportsmanly fashion.
He's fired up. He's fired up like an angry T-cell. Look at him.
Here comes G Lane in that traditional just turn and bowl. G Lane, horrific. Full toss, no ball.
Who knows what was said between batsman and bowler just then, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't, would you like to come round for a beer? I'm pretty sure it was some harsh words, because that went right at Kyle Mills' very tall head.
A 1-run no ball, and now we've got a free hit. Santos.
Oh,
Skies it.
it's me. Oh, no. Oh, I'm probably a bit close to Lee Hart, to be honest.
Okay.
It's all right.
15 runs to win, 46 balls remaining. It's a niggly score. The pressure is on the Spartans. G Lane to Santos.
It's a nice bit of fielding, and the cover's there by Joe Jury. He has been whippet-like today, Joe Jury.
He bowled well, he batted well, and he got that big caboose on the ground to field there. G Lane to Santos. Santos swings hard. Mistimes the ball out on the leg side, and they just amble through for one. They're going to need to do this in more than just ones. With 14 runs and 44 balls, the Spartan 11, the Dulux Spartan 11 is going to have to go for it. G Lane, full.
Where on earth's that gone? Oh, over there.
Smoke through the covers for 4. Just sort of not really smoked, just sort of pissed over the boundary.
That's a good aggressive over by Lane, though, you got to say.
Well, he came in with the right attitude, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he went for 6 runs, but wickets in hand 8, balls remaining 43, runs to win 10. Are the ACC still in it, Ben Hurley?
Yeah, well, that was the perfect over, actually. Strategy-wise, that was the perfect over. Because the umpire's miscounted and he's got another one.
Oh, that's good. We want our best bowler bowling again.
Yeah.
When you get a bowler like this, it's a bit like Lockie Ferguson. You don't want the no balls and wides because you don't want to have to face another delivery. And here comes G Lane. He's fired up to Carl Mills. What's he going to do here? And it's in the air, and Logan Payne's running for it, and he has absolutely no chance. And that is smoked for 6 over cow corner. So it's a pity that G Lane had another delivery, actually. It would have been better if I finished that over.
I'm just standing with Lee Hart. That's exactly where you just were, wasn't it, Lee?
Yeah, that's right, Ben.
And so he's feeling pretty silly right now.
I moved in for the left-hander, and then all of a sudden it shifts around. You got to move. You got to keep thinking in this game, I tell you.
So Lee Hart, you were over behind the sight screen, were you?
Yes, he was. He was having a vape, but he says that's part of his process. So, I trust him for that.
Who will Captain Jeremy Wells get to bowl the last over?
What do you mean the last over?
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, there's quite a few overs to go. They may not get 4 runs in it. Sorry, I'll take that back.
There's 7 overs to go, Matt.
42 balls remaining, runs to win for.
Now,
we need no more than that.
This is our secret weapon. This is like pulling the keeper. Well, it's literally pulling the keeper, but it's like when they pull the keeper out in football and get them to play in the field. That's what we've done. Our keeper is now going to have a bowl. He has kept magnificently. He batted perfectly as well. And so let's see what he can do with the ball. I'm picking double hat-trick.
The keeper to Razor Ray. Beautiful delivery.
It's coming to me. It's coming to me. Hang on, shush. Okay.
Nice long barrier there, Ben Hurley.
There we go.
Nice long-handed one hand. When you've only got one hand, you've got to drop the barrier.
Yeah, well, fortunately, there's 3 of us in a very small area.
Runs to win 3, balls remaining 41. It is tight here at the Bay Oval.
Are we bringing the field in, Jerry? Are we bringing the field in?
Bring the field. Everyone's coming right in. The umbrella field.
Are we going out?
We're not. 3 runs to win. Balls remaining 44. Carl Mills facing.
Oh, that's a good nut. Jeez, look, he's having a little practice there. It's all coming back to him now. Just how hard this game is.
Thanks for joining us on the. Here we go.
That's going.
Shot. And
just
beautifully
the one,
fielded by Lee Hart coming around. I mean, you get little bits of fielding like that, and even if you're losing the game, you still feel like you've won the game because you've shown skills in the field, and I'm very proud of our fielding effort today. That was beautiful from Lee Hart.
If you can move that beautiful West Coast body in such
Dodson.
a dainty way.
To Razor.
It's a big appeal here.
That's
a big appeal here, but
that was a big top edge.
Unmoved. Yeah, if you can move that beautiful big West Coast body like Lee Hart does, you should be very proud.
Dodson to Razor. It's full and it's smoked to the boundary for 4, and that's the end of the game. Thoughts, Ben Hurley, on the performance from the ACC? And you've got to say, all respect to the Dulux Spartans 11. They bowled well, and 130 for 2. They only lost 2 wickets, and they did it in the 14th over. Your thoughts?
Well, look, you can't judge it until both teams have batted, you know? That's what I always say about cricket.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see once we've had a bat if that's enough runs.
Yeah, and I think that kind of lack of attention to detail is what's really hurt the ACC. We have already batted. There were no demons in the wicket, and
well, I didn't feel like I got much of a go, so yeah. I thought maybe I could have another go.
Well, the ACC remain winless in 5 years of competition, and the Dulux Spartans 11 live to play again this afternoon.
Well, all I can say, Matt, Heath, is beers, beers, beers.
How's the rest of the afternoon going to play out G Lane for people that are going to be tuning in to the ACC YouTube and Facebook channels?
Yeah, look, thanks for joining us. We've had thousands of people around the world actually watching this game. Disappointingly, standard of cricket from the ACC didn't quite live up to expectations, but the final game, the grand final, 7 o'clock tonight, under lights here at Bay Oval. So tune in then. I reckon between now and then I could drink, you know the rules. I think I could buff 7 beers.
I think you could buff 7 beers. You know the rules. If what are the rules, G-Lane?
1 buff.
1 buff. So basically, if there's a beer anywhere near you, you drink it immediately.
Yeah, you know the rules.
And so just before I let you go, G-Lane, thoughts on the ACC's performance? Thoughts on the Dulux Spartans' performance?
Yeah, look, they played smart cricket. Matt, Heath, we played quite dumb cricket. We remain defeated for 5 years. We're yet to win a game.
Yeah. Player of the game for you?
It's going to have to be Ian Hensel, the inform Ian Hensel. There's 48 not out that he scored there. But also Ian Dodson, the 2 prize winners from Radio Hauraki. Yeah,
they really stepped up. And that's really a measure of the ACC team, when the 2 people that won the competition to be in the team outplay everyone else in the team.
Yeah.
Most disappointing performance for you from the ACC?
Had to be Jason Hoyt. Again, embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, do up your pads, buddy.
Yeah, look, he tried to blame the equipment, but it was actually don't blame your tools, mate. Don't blame your tools. You're a tool.
So when are we? What were those details again? When are we going live again?
Back live 7 o'clock tonight, 7 p.m. under lights here at the Bay Oval, the big Bay Bash. Don't get that wrong after a few beers. It's going to be the Dulux Spartans versus the Dulux Tradies. Bit of niggle in this game, man.
Yeah, there is a bit of
niggle. Tune in because I think it's going to be a bit of biffo.
There's going to possibly be a bit of biffo. Well, thank you so much for joining us here at the Bay Oval on an absolute stunning day here in the Bay of Plenty for the Dulux Big Bay Bash.